Yo, good afternoon. All right, let's kick off this full race day with Veterans here, round two, Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League. We've got four heavy hitters between Act the Boker and Korek representing We All Should Hover Every Day versus Broger and Magno representing Potatoepouch. This is round two of the Invitational League, game one. Uh, Broger and Magno are the top seed, so in this case, that this was actually their mode of choice. Should be, I would say, quite the exciting time. I don't actually know if we had too many co-op references, but this is going to be quite the treat. I am very excited. I'm actually joined with the person who I believe even won a whole veterans tournament, wall kicks, in addition to some other, interest stuff like
That was a long time ago. I probably let's put it this way, Clearmouse. I'm washed.
Are you? Do you? Maybe Jem has another opinion about who their third team member is. Of course, we are also joined by two amazing trackers, Linkforce and Walter. I mean, this is gonna be a really fun time. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Tell me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So tell me what you remember about Retrance. Even though you claim in this case that it was so from a long time ago.
So it's basically considered a retro cross keys. So the idea is it's cross-world entrance shuffle, along with like the key sanity mode, but the world state is, I believe, retrance or not retrance. World state is retro, haha. Meaning that you have universal small keys, and in this case, we start with the sword.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we see Ack holding out that sword actually for real good measure. Hopefully, in this case, try to get a couple of resources. We also like to have basically one bomb because I guess we're dropping down to the well. Oh, hey, we've had a bow already. That's actually pretty nice. And you know what? We actually just see this on Broger's side as well. Why worry about extra bombs? Just find bombs in the well. Isn't that your always experience, Wallkicks, when dropping down to the well blind?
Yeah, you find bombs all the time over there,
Yeah,
and
well,
never
perfect.
have to worry about like, ooh, what's this bomb? What's this item behind the bombable wall? Surely it's not like a glove or something.
Yeah. Well, that you would never have to go back to. But
Never have to go
sir,
back.
for what it's worth, though, it is co-op. So even if there's something like this, you're really miffed by the fact that you can't get to the back of the well, or maybe you get to like Hype Cave, you can't get the back, or whatever, right? Leave something behind.
Yeah.
You've got a buddy. In theory, you've got a buddy. You have another
I
person
would
on your
hope you
team.
trust I would hope you trust your teammate enough to be like, hey, can you please tell me where some things are when
Some,
you find them?
I'm just saying sometimes the number of opponents is at least two in co-op four-person races.
At least two.
I'm just saying that it still could be a very true statement. By the way, okay, so we're actually seeing Broger. Okay, so he picked up a tree ball. Didn't quite catch what one was, but at least we have red rupees for at least one of them. So that's actually super nice for veterans.
Yeah, definitely. Because one of the things about retrance with this bow, now that we have, we still have to actually buy the arrows for the ability to use the bow. But once we do that, the arrows cost 10 rupees per shot, unless you're using silver arrows, in which case they cost 50 rupees. So money management is very big in the scene, especially since, like I said, we have an early bow.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But I think about the early bow, you also have to go find a shop, right, with the arrow or the quiver or
Yeah.
something like that. Okay.
Yep. And the shops, similarly with everything kind of shuffled around, the shops themselves are shuffled around. Some of them will have the arrow for sale, some of them won't. There's also going to be what's called take any caves, which basically mean that you're going to have, you can take anything there. Of course, the anything is a bottle with a blue potion, which is really nice, or a heart container. Those are kind of your only options. So,
Mm-hmm.
take anything might be a little bit of a misnomer, but it's okay.
I mean, well, it's still, just like at least, right? And take any. It's still technically true. You are allowed to take anything that you are able to carry. Yeah. So I guess maybe technically, if you hit 20 hearts or something, which I guess in theory maybe is possible in Retrance,
Mhm.
you maybe not be able to take this. Yeah, because we see Broger, he was able to take the one any that he could in fact carry because we had no bottle in order to store that blue potion.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, and I was even thinking like maybe in the like I know health and safety is also very important certainly
Hmm.
especially in co-op where you kind of like limited probably just because you don't end up checking everything, you probably check like half the things, but at the same time like kind of want a mirror too, right? That would be kind of nice.
Yeah, an early mirror would obviously be good, and for pretty much for both teams at this point, we had the mushroom in Sanctuary, and no one turned it in, and we have since found the potion shop. So
True. Yeah, that's true. There's
little bit of a
slightly.
dang it, but it's also super easy to get to, and so it's not going to
Yeah.
be that big of a
Yeah.
deal. Like we're seeing Brogar essentially go turn in the mushroom right now.
Oh, okay. So Link Force actually very so she obviously pays a lot more attention than certainly I do. She does say that after the potion or the mushroom, we are going to but yeah, we're going to basically see what this thing actually is going to turn to. But actually Magno though is doing actually a lot of exploration. He found GT and he found Pod.
Yeah,
Like
he's
with
the only one I think in Kakariko right now. Everyone else is kind of
I guess it's
avoiding it.
elsewhere. Yeah.
Um, I can't see how if that's 3 or 5 keys on Magno's side.
Yeah, same. It is certainly at least two. That is
It's
that is
certainly
what
at
I
least 2. Can confirm. But so one of the things that is a little bit different, another difference between retrons and cross keys with the universal small keys is that there's a lot more in logic when it comes to stuff like Palace of Darkness, and it's 3 keys that Magno has, not 5. So Palace of Darkness, you kind of consider the 1-4-6 rule. One small key kind of gets you through the first door, which puts a couple of checks in logic. 4 small keys logically get you to the back. 6 small keys puts everything like Harmless Hellway, Vanilla Big Key Chest, the Dark Maze, all that is into logic. Um,
Mhm.
so like there's definitely a lot of you kind of consider those when you're doing pod. In Retron, since all the small keys are universal and it's kind of assumed that you can pick them up at pretty much any time. Um, all that stuff is just in logic minus whatever other logical stuff you would need to get it. Like for Dark Maze, you would need the lamp.
Right, right. Yeah, you talk about actually, talking about you can pick up keys at any point. Wall cakes, you're speaking as if we are in the top 1% of financial wealth of the
Yeah,
world.
totally.
Well, actually, I did see. Oh, by the way, I don't know where all the money that coworker get. I don't. I don't. Maybe he did tool hand or something. But he ended up finding one of those shops you talking about with like the arrow and the key and the something. Like he had literally bought out the entire shop. Doesn't it feel great to like be living the life of luxury and
Yeah.
apparently just having free money everywhere. Oh, well, by the way, speaking of free money, Broger is also has found the arrow game. Actually, super nice. In retros, any type of money source is great.
Definitely. So one thing to note is that we have found pod, we have a bow, and Korak actually just found the pod big key, which I believe we
Ooh.
know is green pendant based on what Sahashila told us, which is really funny because it's absolutely confirmation bias, but it definitely seems like in a key sanity mode where you're like, oh, I need to find out what green pendant is now that I found Sahashila. He's like, oh, it's this dungeon, and then you open up the back and it's like, hey, here's the big key to the same dungeon
Yeah.
he just told me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very true. I mean, like it happens like that certainly more often than not. At least that is also my observation. And I mean, okay, so I mean, like, does that kind of make you want to go to like pod more often? I mean, certainly now like Helma itself, right? I mean, assuming we can get back there with all the other stuff, right? Like the bow and the hammer and the
Hmm.
all that stuff. Like, does it make it more tempting? I guess for you to kill Helma in this mode?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot early on to suggest that the entirety of Pod is a possible play. Plus, this is co-op mode. You kind of want to be a little bit thorough when it comes to what you and your partner are doing because you don't want to give yourself like, oh, I'm leaving stuff behind and putting our
Mm-hmm.
team at risk for missing something. Chat
Yeah.
is also pointing out that the lamp was also picked up somewhere. I'm not sure who. There's 4 screens doing 4
Yeah,
very, very different things.
that is very
Um,
true.
it,
I
it's
did
it's
catch,
definitely hard to see who has what.
yeah, I did catch the lamp being on Magno's side,
Okay,
but it was at Uncle, and I don't remember where Uncle is. Presumably, it's where the smith is,
okay, that's fair. And then
because
also
there's
Act,
El Kakariko,
yeah, Act did find Hype Cave and did have the Turtle Rock Big Key with it. So
and more money.
and
Yeah.
and more
Ooh.
money.
Okay, yeah, that's actually really super nice. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, like we're there, certainly at the beginning of any type of like co-op seed, like veterans not certainly very much included. Probably one of the biggest goals is to just try and get as much coverage as you can, right? You
Hmm.
obviously see people doing in probably one person doing Sank Start, one person doing Link's House Start. It's very possible that you're going to get very early conversions, right? Because Sank Start can certainly be in many places, and if it's kind of close, to Link's house, or maybe you end up both converging Kakariko for some reason, right? Like you can get
Yeah,
together again, but I mean, the goal is just trying to get as much information as possible. And boy, are we really diverging here,
it's
as you
just like
said.
I'm trying to watch 4 screens and it's so difficult.
Yeah, it
Broger, by
is.
the way, in Turtle Rock, picked up a Canis Samaria,
Well,
which is kind of convenient for Turtle
that
Rock.
is very convenient. It's like you don't even need to bring your own equipment or accessories or whatever. You just accept that the dungeon was like Turtle Rock's like the new mini pod. Pod will
Yeah,
just always have a small key for you. Well, in this mode, it might still have a small key. Maybe it'll even have the hammer. Who knows in this
who
case.
knows? So one thing I'm sure that Korik wishes he had that Act definitely has is health.
That's a really good observation. It does seem like we are. Okay, everybody still has at least 2 heart containers. That is
At
still a true
least 2
statement.
Arc.
Yes. Korik might be closer to that threshold than everybody else. Looks like at least Broger managed to get himself a 5th heart. But yeah, looking at Axe health, I did hear that sharing is caring. I really hope, but that doesn't necessarily mean that just because Act does not share means that he does not care. Okay, like that is how logic works. But
Oh,
you know
there's a
what?
mirror
Howard found the mirror. Oh yeah, that is, and his desert
and a
palace big
desert big
key. That
desert
is
biggie.
yes,
But those are like 2 of the things. Like, well, obviously the desert big, but like the mirror early on in entrance is so nice.
it is so huge. Yeah.
Did you
Is that
see what was
powder?
on ped? That was in
Yeah, it was.
fact powder. Which
Oh well.
considering where the mushroom is and where potion shop is, like
Ooh, ooh. Oh,
like
actually, man, that's actually a good
the,
point. Like, so in regular entrance, like you don't save scale mushrooms, right? Do you do that here in
no.
co-op?
I mean, I say no. Like I'm never like I don't save scum anything. I always just I'm always gonna
Mm-hmm.
open the first key door and pod. I'm always gonna whatever. But like having this information, Broger has the Canis Maria. I don't know if he's turned in the mushroom, but we know where it is. Like this is entirely a scenario where you would maybe save scum it. Like this is
Yeah.
entirely a reasonable situation. Having said that, I don't think we know where the magic bat is yet. But again, with 4 screens going in 4 entirely different directions,
Hey,
who
look, we found
knows?
magic badge.
Oh
Oh,
well,
how convenient.
okay.
I mean, by convenient, I mean how completely inconvenient.
Yeah.
Inconvenient. Yes.
Eh,
Yeah. So we're gonna beat Aga 1, just for the potential chance to fake powder. Man,
it
that
doesn't seem super likely at this point.
okay.
And Act did give us a check as to what the mushroom was, and it was a single rupee.
Okay. Okay.
But Korak and Act don't know that it's powder on
True. Yeah.
pedestal.
Yeah. That's right. Because neither of them had the book at this point. Because that
Mm-hmm.
was definitely a Magno
Because
exclusive.
yeah, where did Magno pick that up?
I am no. It was another drop down. It was the last was drop down. I just remember like the inside. I don't remember if that was vanilla maybe, or something.
Sure.
So we'll see. Ooh, there's bombos on Desert Ledge. That would be kind of pretty
Nice,
convenient.
nice
And
little
whenever we have
bombos.
a connector. Yeah, and of course, like with reference as you mentioned, right? Everybody starts with a sword. That is actually kind
Mm-hmm.
of like one potential, good thing, because we can actually just use the medallions outright. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
to necessarily go find another one. So that can actually unlock. Well, certainly it can be the Mire and Turtle Rock entrances, but then also, especially with bombos, be fire. It could be Ice Palace entry. It could be a an offensive weapon,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever rooms you want to demolish, not the back of escape. That is sacred. But anything else, is fair game.
Yeah, and another thing to know, again, kind of a reference thing is that there's also, including the Take Any caves, there's also a sword cave, which actually has found. Broger should be finding it soon because I'm pretty sure it was somewhere here on West Death Mountain, um,
Mm-hmm.
like right
Yeah,
there.
and yes, perfect. Yeah,
so
and actually,
so it's not uncommon to like consider the fact that an early Master Sword is very much probably like an illogical thing.
oh yeah, yeah, that's actually true. And I think actually with the pool, like there are 3 swords in the pool, like out in the wild, and then like the last sword is in the Take Any cave. So
I
like,
don't believe
oh, is
that's
that
the
not
case
true?
because you start with the sword. One of
Oh,
them is
true.
in the
Oh yeah,
Take
yeah.
Any
Yeah. Okay,
cave,
yeah, okay,
so
that's
there's
very
2
fair. Yeah, yeah.
swords out in the wild.
Right. Yes, that is. I did think about. At least 2 swords are out in the
At
wild.
least 2
Let's just.
swords.
That is. That's what we're gonna go with.
Can we do the at least thing a
Yes.
bunch? Like
Hey, as long as you are technically correct, that is the best
that
kind
is
of
the best
correct.
kind.
That's. Yeah, and I was going to say, like, when you talk about like that master sword is also super convenient. Like, you see how actually how like Broger. I mean, it looks like he actually wanted to like I guess like take the Poke2 key from Turtle Rock,
Hmm.
right? I mean, it's a free. Basically, you can save yourself 100 rupees. But if being only on Fighter Sword, Ag had a significantly easier time basically with that Poke in order to try to get the key on Master Sword.
Yeah, and I think the reality was I don't think when Act did it, I don't think he actually had a key. So if he wanted to check the vanilla big key
Oh
chest,
yeah, actually that's a good
he
point.
actually
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
needed to kill the Poke to get the key.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is also kind of why he saved and quit after Chain Chomps, having the Cane and the T Rock or the TR big key in hand. Like he could have very easily have taken it all the way to say Laser Bridge, but
Mm-hmm.
you would have needed a key for that. Something he does
Right,
not have.
right. Yeah, yes, these are the problems of poverty is that
The problems of poverty.
yes. Yeah, because I think Korik was the only one who actually found a key shop, at least for Ak and Korik's side. I'm just trying I assume Magno was the one who found either a bunch of small keys out in the wild or he actually did find another shop because like the number of keys in this case that Broker also has is also very well, it is not at least two. I can
Hmm.
certainly do that math.
So Korik is actually now in pod with the big key, with the bow, and 4 small keys. So like, if I'm Korik, I'm doing everything minus the boss, obviously, because we don't have a hammer. Like, I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
spend the keys here to say, hey, I'm just gonna, the next time we go into pod, all we need to do is the boss.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That and well, if that, right? Like, well,
Yeah,
oh, wait, you
if
know what?
that.
You actually did say right the next time. Like, if in this case we have to go back to Pod and we think that Green Pen is going to be something,
Hmm.
then yeah, yeah, because it's actually very possible that once we end up finding out that, especially in this case, like Pod is the Green Pendant, we may not ever see Helmasaur.
Right.
I think we also did find out at some point. I want to say, oh yeah, it looks like on Broger and Magno side, Desert Palace was another pendant. So we're actually getting pretty close to knowing our full set of crystals and pendants.
Yeah, and
Um,
it looks like we have vanilla 5/6 crystals. Ooh, there's a
okay.
Thieves Town. Magno does have the big key, but
Looks like
looks
he
like
does not want to. He doesn't want to. I guess like fairy revive or sorry, death.
hmm
Whatever.
yeah,
Yoshi revive. I guess in this case. Okay.
Yoshi revive. Fair
Hmm.
enough.
I mean, well, okay. Is that something that you think would be? I don't know. Like what would you do maybe in that situation? Like, would you so could you can you like continue the route? If you find a connector, would you try or would you do something else? Like, how valuable is the back of Thieves Town here without the hammer?
Honestly, I'd do it and just tell my opponent and just tell my teammate, hey, clean up the big chest. Assuming that when they come back here, they'll have the hammer. Be like, hey, can you just clean up the big key chest check? And if I need to come back, I need to come back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
like that's me. But again, we're still 60 minutes into the seed. We don't have we don't have a moon pearl yet.
It's
Who
true.
knows?
That is for sure. You know what? I really dream of a co-op seed, not even necessarily like a single
Okay.
person seed. Where we have actually like pro go mode. So I don't actually know how like it's pretty rare, like
that
even for
that's
regular,
so
but even
insane.
yeah, but I think even for co-op, right? Just because you're having so much coverage and you're gonna find things eventually. I really don't see people in Dusty Up getting bottlenecked by that pearl, but a mouse can dream with
Yeah.
a cookie.
So do you notice what Korik has on his tracker, by the way?
He has a
Well,
glove
aside from the glove
apparently.
that he just picked up,
That
but
is
there's also a hammer on his
oh my
tracker, which
gosh, you're
means
right.
which means that the hammer is
Are
sitting
we?
in pod.
Oh my gosh, wait. Well, but he spent all his keys, right? So I get we're just not getting
I mean,
anything.
you're not going into pod without a hammer and like 4 keys and thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pick up the hammer here and kill Helmer King. Like he's still entirely doing the correct thing, which is use the keys. And again, similarly at this point, you know, when do you want to do Helma King? It seems like we have a lamp. Like it's entirely in logic. The green pendant could have our moon pearl.
Yeah, that's very true actually. And so okay, so we have one more check left, I think, in pod, which is so if this is a small key, I assume Cowork's gonna go to the back. It is not a small key. But that like is okay. So if there is nothing on Green Pendant, then I think that in this case, Kilrick and Ack have probably an early advantage compared to Broker and Magno, just because Magno found Pod early on, like very very early, right? No big
Yeah,
key. But then he ended up, I think, not going that far.
yeah.
Because
He only did like the front few checks.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So the incentive then for Broker and Magna to kind of go back to pod on either side is probably going to be certainly a bit, decreased. That being said, though, we saw that there is a hammer and a glove in pod, so they'll probably get funneled in there sooner rather than later. But it is going to
Yeah,
be, with the early knowledge here on Korek's side, probably, and of course, tell Ak everything that he knows. Ak will probably make his way over to pod soon, and then, with basically so much extra access, right? Like they're going to be a lot more.
Yeah, and I think honestly, it's the glove that's going to be the bigger get early on because that gives you more
Mm-hmm.
entrances. Like the hammer early is obviously very nice. Don't get me wrong, but like the glove early on gives you more entrances to check. You have a couple of glove locked entrances that you can go check. I'm just repeating myself. Clear mouse, take over.
Well, we are. Well, I mean, I think something some things are worth repeating. That is actually how we. That's how everybody learns. That is how everybody remembers. We are actually going over to the right side of left side. I meant when I say left, I definitely mean right and vice versa. On
I
correct side, for
this very much
GC.
just feels like a hey, get Southwest Room out of the way. This is easy to do. Um,
Good
you
thing we
know,
have
it,
bombs. Well, okay, when you say easy, Kovac actually only has like one shot because he's actually not like bottlenecked on bombs. He's bottlenecked on health, right? Can he actually do this? Oh, he
yeah,
can because he has blue
he's on
mail.
he's on blue mail anyway. So
Right, right. Oh, all right. Well, so this is actually a good lesson in that it actually does pay to have a little bit of extra health and maybe just like the three, he has to be
still
careful
sitting
here.
on 3 hearts. Three
Oh my
hearts.
gosh! After all this, yeah, Aga's like, oh yeah, skip that heart container. We're behind. Oh my gosh, look at that. A four
Hey,
part. A four
hey,
part.
we did it.
My guess is that Ack, unless he really needs something over here anytime soon, like that small key, he is not going to go seeing those heart containers. This is kind of the consequence of co-op too, right? You end up doing hopefully in this case all different things from your partner, and if you happen to be the fortunate one that stumbles upon, well, apparently in Ack's case, like 5 heart containers extra than your partner,
Hmm.
then you're the one who has extra health, and you just have to hope in this case your partner maybe finds his own way.
Yeah, and like for Ack and Cork, obviously they obviously know that there's a hammer glove in Pod. Ack
Mm-hmm.
isn't going there quite yet because he only has one key. I think right now Ack.
Oh,
I think right now
ooh.
there's kind of a little bit of a sense of hey, let's try to find for Ack at least more keys. One because you need to get to at least Harmless Hellway, which is going to take 3 keys minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you have to consider Helmets King at this point, given the lack of move roll.
Right, right. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, right. And yeah, so like the flip side is that especially in this case, if like everything basically is locked up behind Helmosaur, right? I mean, even with the early glove and hammer and everything else, right? Like one, yeah, as
Hmm.
you mentioned, Ack is probably not going to go back in there until he has probably other stuff. But then also too, like it sounds like everybody's going to get funneled back in there, right? And then and then it will just end up being that both Ack and Korek and Broger and Magna are going to go back into pod, like, well, at least twice in this
Yeah,
case.
that absolutely.
Mhm.
Although with the glove, we like you said, we do have more entrances to check, so it is entirely possible that the glove is just locking our Moon Pearl in one of the entrances that we haven't seen yet. I know for
Yeah,
5 item cave purposes, I know we've seen Hype Cave. I don't think we've seen Blind Hut or Mini Moldrum Cave.
I believe you are correct.
Brogor taking the
Do
time
you,
to talk to our friendly whatever that is
it's a ball. It's
ball.
pink. He rolls. Maybe, he is well, I was gonna say he is Kirby after Thanksgiving, but you know what? Kirby is always looking like that, so.
It's just Kirby, please.
Ooh. Oh, well, it looks like we actually found the back of desert. Looks like Broker's actually gonna clear this place out.
Burger, that is
Um,
entirely the wrong pot to
oh,
pick up, and he's also not
oh,
going to clear it
I
out
see, I
because he doesn't
see.
have he doesn't
Oh,
actually
yes,
have a fire
right. He
source
doesn't
yet.
have the lamp. That's right. We found the lamp here in the front of Escape. Well, actually, speaking of the front, so so Magno actually took the time in order to Yoshi revive inside Hyrule Castle. I mean, so we
Hmm.
definitely saw him in Thieves Town earlier. Chose not to do that, but here, at least in the front of Escape, actually, and right, you talking about like universal keys, right? So all the stuff is in logic because we don't have to
Hmm.
go find that pesky Hyrule Castle small key.
Yeah. However, I don't think this is quite in logic because I'm pretty sure Magno death warped to get here. Like
Oh,
like
true,
he
true, true.
he
Yeah,
found
right,
this in the
right.
dark world without a moon pearl. So like it's also entirely reasonable that you take like connectors are very much a thing. If you walk into a connector in the dark world and you walk out of its opposite end in the light world, hey, whatever you just did is in logic, considering you now have light world access to that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also very true. Yeah, but in this case, I think we only saw Higher Castle, right? Yeah, so it's certainly very it's possible that once in this case Magno ends up going and exit, maybe yeah, you go to the light world and you come straight back in, and then all the stuff's gonna be in logic. But we'll see. I don't think you actually found anything that useful. We did
No,
get
not
another small
not yet.
key. Yeah, which I mean, small keys probably at this point seem pretty good. I mean, especially for them, right? Like you have to go back to pod, and we actually did see that we need many keys in order to finish up pod.
Hmm.
All right, but all
And
right, so
our tracker pointing out that it looks like Desert was in fact a crystal. It was just a blue crystal, not
oh,
a
crystal,
blue
blue
pendant.
crystal. Got it. I understand. I understand now.
Colors, man.
Look, I'm really glad. Okay, like, again, our trackers are technically correct. All right, like all
Yeah.
crystals, it is a blue crystal. We just, seem to, drop the color in this case. So it's actually very interesting. Then it's okay. So that means actually Lamo is in logic, right? Because we don't,
Yeah.
because
Depending
any
on where
small
that desert
keys,
big was, I don't recall where.
the
Oh yeah,
desert
it
pass
was
Vicky was
next to
with
the
the
mirror.
mirror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in logic. Korek in Thieves Town out of logic without the Moon Pearl, but with the hammer and Biggie, going to be able to full clear this dungeon.
Oh, right. Yeah, he found the hammer and pod. Yeah, this is gonna be super good. So yeah, and I think I guess okay, we only still know the green pendant knowledge because we
Mhm.
didn't talk to Saha and found out that it was in fact the green pendant. But I think everything else we actually don't know. Oh, wait, they found out 5-6, but it's actually a pretty good chance in this case that that Thief Sound's gonna be a crystal. Go at go.
Um,
Are we gonna see
I,
this?
I'm pretty sure a map check did show on at least Magno Burgo's side that Thieves Town's a crystal.
Okay. Oh,
No,
okay,
we're not
great.
clearing this.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, Ag, no!
I mean,
We're so close. We have a lamp, we have a bow, we have the Desert Palace, Vicky.
yeah,
I believe in you, Ag. I know you
I'm
can
a,
do this.
I'm a little surprised we didn't clear it right there.
Oh. And he has a Master Sword too. I mean, okay,
Yeah,
granted, Master Sword does not do any more damage than Fighter Sword on Lamos, but still, like, yeah, you can get a couple
he
sword
has a
spins in
bow.
there.
Clear mouse.
Well,
Clear
I know,
mouse.
dude.
Bow Lanmo. Come on.
Well, actually, okay, did he buy the? He
He
has no quiver. I'm so sad.
does he? Oh, he does not. That's true.
Yeah, he has not found. Okay, you know what? You're absolutely. Ak is always 10 steps ahead of us, right?
It's
He
true.
knows he could not do Bo Lambo, so therefore he left. I
Look.
understand.
Act just likes to greet me in a certain way, so I have to make sure that
Oh,
sometimes I have
okay,
to
okay, okay.
try
I
to
understand.
even it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So Broker's back in Pod. It looks
Yep.
like he is going straight over to Helmstar, which also starting to make sense. Because Magno's kind of already done some of the front stuff, and looks like he did, in fact, find that hammer in Pod. So we're gonna go get Green Pendant immediately. But I do not see a glove, which was in Harmless Alloy. He has plenty of keys, though, in order to go get it. So I'm assuming he's just gonna get the stuff after he beats Helma.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of did the do the front, which I'm assuming. I have to imagine the hammer is probably bow locked then.
Oh, okay. That's a very good point.
So we talk about Ack not having arrows.
Ack can mimic clip. I have fully seen this. He is
I believe
prepared.
it. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, actually, I remember. I think when one of the like very early like season 2 or 3 like for pilot spoiler or something.
Mhm.
In the interview, it was Korik piloting Ack, and Korik apparently was like freaking out because he's like, oh, I need to find a bottle, to potion camera unlock the Bollock side of Pod, and then Ack's like, don't worry, dude, I got you, and he just mimic clipped out, and that's how I remembered Ack and mimic clip.
That's how you learn that Ack can mimic clip.
Yeah.
And like that's obviously that's a great way of showing that, like, hey, sometimes your teammates can kind of help you out here, like you know given that, like, as you mentioned, Korok was like, oh god, I need to find a potion, and Ack is like, nah, we're good, and like that's good teammate synergy communication and
Oh,
everything.
for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Burger.
Magno. Magno is apparently here in the back of the. Why does everybody come here to the back of desert without like all the requisite items? Wall kicks.
Well,
He does not have his. Where is his bow?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Clear mouse, you tell me.
I'm if he's only here, with I
With a
guess he's
fighter
going to
sword.
and Samaria, I guess.
Yeah, this
This
isn't
is
gonna
going
be
to
the.
be this is going to be a fight.
I mean, it shouldn't be too bad, but it's not the easiest thing.
It is. It's also well, okay. Yes, you're right in that he has a permanent weapon. Like he is always going to be able to kill this boss.
Yeah,
That being said, like it may not be the fastest kill, but it's also but I think it's also gonna be very creative as well.
I would also not recommending face tanking bosses. You
Uh,
are a little low on health. Just gonna point that out.
that's true. He has not been wherever Ack has been, wherever Broger has been, and also wherever Kowerk has been in order to get any health here whatsoever. Yeah. This looks like kind of one of those like situations. I mean, health is a resource. It doesn't actually look like okay, everything's fine.
Doing okay. Like there's always a sense of like, okay, well, he took care of it just fine. I'm not gonna go too deep into
Oh
it. Oh, there's our
yeah,
first
yeah.
bottle.
Okay, second bottle. Oh, first bottle.
Second
You're right.
bottle.
Yeah,
So,
second bottle. I could definitely count at least
no,
two.
wait.
We're
You
both
have me
correct. That's how.
confused. Counting is
Just
hard.
it is count. Yes, but I mean, you know that you're supposed to be the one counting for the two of us, right?
Yeah,
If we're both counting, then nothing good
I
can come of this.
I trusted you, Clear Mouse.
From counting and well kicks, how many sessions have we done together? This is a lesson that you may actually want to learn better here.
I'm gonna write this down. Don't
Hmm.
trust Clear Mouse with
Yes.
numbers.
Yes.
She is
Perfect. That is.
just a mouse.
I do not have any type of counting implements.
Hey,
First,
one thing
first
to note.
bottle is yes, yes, wall kicks. What is that?
Ak is here in pod, picking up everything that Korak picked up. Does not have a key, so both Ak and Korak are choosing to essentially skip Helma's King. So this
Hmm.
green pendant, whatever it is, if it's something significant, will give a big advantage over to Magno and Broker.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Yeah, because we did see that Broger what actually did clear out Helmsor. I did not actually catch what the prize was, as in like what the item drop was. It did not look like anything important though.
It,
But
it,
you're
it, it
absolutely
was a
correct.
small key.
Oh, it was a small key. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Then
And
okay.
and and by the way, I wrote down to not trust you on counting. It was in fact our second bottle.
Is that what we dropped? That's hilarious.
No,
No, that was no. It's
Walter, our tracker, is indicating that there was a bottle in back of Escape. So when we got the bottle, it was in fact the second bottle.
Right. Yes, yeah. And the bottle was dropped on Lamos. It was not dropped on Helma. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That is that. Okay. That's good. All right. Okay. So by the way, we are seeing the right side of GT. Not necessarily the correct side, but we are seeing the actual right-hand side of Ganon's tower. We do not have a fire rod. I don't know if. Oh, is how
We're just
tight is
gonna.
this gonna be?
We're just doing tower. You
Okay.
don't
Okay.
have the like with just the lamp and no like hookshot or boots. You would never make it across to try to sequence break right side. That's just not gonna happen.
Okay, yeah, that was kind of like my next train of thought was like, so normally, we have seen people certainly sequence break the right side with only the lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, when I say by only the lamp, there were some other hidden assets that we may not have been mentioning. For example, like the hook shot, as you mentioned, the boots.
Yep.
Anything else that basically speed up that traversal faster. Aki actually did spin his one key on the right side. So we ended up picking up a big key to Eastern, which
Yay.
it seems like I don't actually
You know what
know if
that
you wanted
means?
to. Well, I mean that means that we're gonna go into Eastern Palace. That's exactly what you've always wanted to do, right, Wall Kicks?
I mean, it means we can single dip it, which is the best kind of dipping Eastern Palace.
Everyone is happy going into Eastern Palace. How's that?
Yes.
Everyone is happy.
When you can single dip it.
When we're going into Eastern Palace, all right,
With
it's
the
like going
ability to
home.
single dip it, you have
We
to
are
finish the sentence.
Wall Kicks. Some sentences aren't worth finishing, okay? Or somebody else, can finish the sentence for you. That's how sentences in co-op work, right? You say one word, I say the next.
I'm reminded
Yes.
of the show Whose Line Is It Anywhere where they had a game. I think it's like the three-headed Broadway musical
Yeah,
where it's
it
just
was.
the
Oh
three of
man,
them
that's
and they
amazing,
each
right?
do one word.
Yes, and you just hope in this case that something in this case makes some amount of coherent sense. Oh, that show was so good. That
It
whole
was
show was
such an
so
amazing
good.
show.
All right. So Magno is coming back into pod. He's gonna at least grab. Okay. If you're Magno, I assume you skip out on green pendant and Helma. Like you basically just wait for your partner to turn that green pendant in.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a little surprised. I don't recall where Sahasra was. I think Sahasra was East Mountain. So
I definitely remember seeing the inside. I just don't remember where it
great.
was. Hopefully Walter or Link Forest will help us out here.
Korik choosing not to sequence break and finish off Skullwood's a little surprised at that. I mean, we do have a key, we do have a sword, we do have a lamp.
He's on fighter sword. Yeah, fighter sword and lamp. I guess he has hammer.
I mean, but given where it wasn't that easy to get to.
Okay.
It was at the Desert Palace entrance.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe if we can okay, we are still pretty early into the seed. I'm okay, not like
Yeah.
super early, but like we can find Mist, we can find Glove. Sorry, we can find Mist, we can find Mirror, we can find Flute. I understand that's a lot of stuff to go find, but I guess maybe
Brogar,
we also don't know the other pendants too, right?
true. Brogar, by the way, is going all the way left side. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
normally,
I saw this
normally if you're
earlier.
like if you're doing left side with the hook shot, usually just stop over at Selfless Room and call it
Southwest Room,
good.
right? Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Brogar is going basically as far as he can go. He's going to go all the way to Ice Armos. I mean, he's got the bombs needed, which is good. But that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he does have a good amount of money as well. So, and, you mentioned this earlier, right? There is a cost to using the bow here in Retrance, and
Hmm.
so like every arrow is 20 rupees. I guess, yeah. I just hope that. Well, I mean, he can miss a bunch and still be fine, but
Yeah.
you got to think about the long term. You can't just necessarily spend the entirety amount of your money here on Armos, right? There is
Nice
still
bomb refill
yeah.
in that room.
Yeah,
He started
what were
that room
you?
with one bomb
Yeah, what
and
were you saying
ended with
earlier
10.
about only having bombs to his name? Like here, apparently that is not the case after visiting Random Room.
All right, looks like Ak is going to go back and actually finish off.
That's right. He bought the bow. That's
Keep,
the
yeah,
most important part.
I'm 100% positive he knows you're on comms and went in and was like, oh, I don't have an actual bow right now.
I will have to go and figure out the. I don't know if in this case if audio is going to be recorded or anything like that, but I guess we'll see. If that was actually the case, we can maybe ask him afterwards. But it's certainly gonna. I mean, I 100% believe in Ak here. I mean, and for what it's all memes aside, right? Just looking at his loadout, like, yeah, we certainly did see Broger, right? Like, do some Arya strats on Landmos, but I mean, honestly, like, the bow is probably actually one of the best weapons that Ak in
Oh
this
my
case
gosh,
has.
yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, all right. Maybe not quite necessarily like the quick kill that people are used to seeing in Ice Armos, but again, don't worry. We have the good news about Retrance is that with the Rupee Bow is that if you are not limited to 30 arrows, you could take as many as you want, provided you come in with with a big enough wallet.
Provided you have the money. Oh my god, Magno, you almost died.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right. Well, they actually do see that Ak is also using.
Clear
Maybe
mouse.
I know.
Where's the bow?
Well, apparently it's in our savings account, or it's locked behind a CD that we can't actually, withdraw for another 3 months or something.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is very, very sad, but it's okay. I mean, Ak is doing a great job. Again, Master Sword, if you can spin, it does Temper Sword
Does
damage.
temper
I mean,
damage, yeah.
yeah. So Ak also needs to not
So
die
how's the
as well.
health?
Maybe looking. Oh my god.
Okay, we're fine. Never worried.
Never worried. All right,
He
but that's
gets his
gonna be
bottle.
yeah, and he's got a B as well, to go alongside with it. So we got a companion as well.
So Clear Mouse, where's the Moon Pearl?
That's a great question.
Because
Do
I
you think
think
it's on?
at this point we need it. I don't think we're getting away with a Moon Pearl-less co-op Retrant Seed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, and something else I think has to maybe show up as well. Like it's something else would maybe open things up. But I don't even know how much further we can even get. Like we can bunny walk if we get to Dark World, which we have seen, some of these guys do before. But we don't really have that much left, though, do we?
Mm-hmm.
Then within
Not
logic.
not really. No.
I mean, so how's that green pendant looking then for that pearl?
I
Like
mean,
you mentioned it earlier, and
it's looking good. Another area that's looking good that I don't think we've seen from either runner is taking the TR Big, the Cane, and the Lamp and
oh
going to
right,
Laser Bridge. I know we saw one of Magno and Brogar go to the front of Turtle Rock. I don't think anyone's gone to the back of Turtle Rock.
yeah, I think you're right actually in that case.
Ak
Yeah,
is
we
beginning
definitely.
to load up on keys for sure.
Yeah, that's actually maybe one of the reasons why we can't, in this case, afford the nice things in life is
Hmm.
well we do need some more key access and it. I mean, I know that there have been like they have found stuff like out in the wild and all that. It's just basically it's not going to be in this case like enough to fund whatever else they need to do.
Yeah,
Looks like we just find Meyer as well. We can't get in on Magno's side. No boost, no hook shot.
I know. I think it was Ak saw Meyer earlier as well, but like you said, no
Oh,
boots, no
okay,
hook shot.
okay.
We can't get in. However, Magno is on East Death Mountain. This is where uh oh
Oh, Saha is
was
right.
yeah, but was it him or was it Brogor who took out Helmasaur?
It was Broger.
Oh my goodness. Clear Mouse, how much longer are we gonna have to wait for this green pendant? Like
Well,
this I mean, it doesn't have to be the answer, of course, but like in my head, I'm like, it has to be this, right? Hmm. Another thing that is in logic that I'm sure none of our runners want to consider, except maybe Korik because he has 600 plus rupees, and Magno and Broger. They all have over 500. Zora. Zora is definitely a possibility there. Ack picking up, or excuse me, Korik picking up what he needs.
so for Zora, I mean, like, is this something that maybe you try and do, like, after saving quit?
I mean, if you're able to save some of the money, yes. One slight consequence to what Magna just did in order to fake Flipper is use 2 arrows, which cost him 20 rupees.
Oh my gosh, you're
And he
right.
no
Oh my
longer
gosh,
has
dude.
Zora
Yeah.
money.
Oh no. Oh no. We did not think about this in retro. It's okay. Hobo will bail us out with 20 rupees.
Nope,
It
he
was
just gives
only a
us
heart
another heart.
container. No.
Which
Oh
Magno's
no.
like, I kind of want, but no.
Oh, but you were gonna say, okay, all right. Well, we are actually. No, this is actually a good idea on Magnus. It looks like he didn't really have anything useful. He had a good saving quit point from earlier,
Yeah.
and there is no reason to put yourself basically in. That's actually like one thing that I have noticed with other people probably trying to do more and more is that in this case, let's say you try doing bomb mini Moldarm, right, and then you end up dying or you're doing something not good. A really great thing to be able to do if you can is just reset, right? You get all your resources back. You have to still incur the time loss, but in this case, right, like you at least have everything that you had starting out with. Magno, see,
we're,
this is
we're
we are in
doing.
the
Yeah.
we are in the invitational league for a reason. Magno knows how to install everything here, apparently.
All right, so Ack looks like he is committing to Helmasaur King at this point. Which,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
if Wash is the first team that actually turns this in this green pendant, I will be super like one impressed, two disappointed in Magnor and Broger for like not
Basically
making
doing this. Mm-hmm.
yeah for like
Yeah.
not making this a priority.
Yeah, that's true because they ended up doing Green Pendant like pretty well, not early, but I mean Broger after like he was only the second one between Magno and Broger to go into pot, but he literally got everything. Like I mean
Yeah.
everything, right? Like hammer, glove, green pendant, helmet sword down, like and right now it doesn't even seem like so even though Broger here is in this case taking down Desert for her next crystal,
Hmm.
we don't actually have I think any more new information, right? And like being able to
No.
turn the green pendant is going to be something that is going to be more enlightenment if anything else. We just see 20 rupees. See, Magno could have just got the 20 rupees off of Sora Ledge. Why was he so
But
worried? You know?
but then he would have needed a fake Flipper again.
Oh,
Like
you're right. You're right. Well, we just saw him and Scylla with Canis and Maria and
it's
Bobs.
true, but
Okay.
Look.
Okay. I'm looking. What am I looking at?
Should no, I don't call me out on it. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually have anything. Like I started like you ever hear what I think it's like Michael Scott who talks like so I just start talking and then hope
Oh
I
yeah,
just pick it
yeah.
up along the way.
Yeah.
That's a
Look at that. So that is okay. I'm pretty sure we are willing to pay any amount of money for a temper. Holy cow! Like, I mean, that's kind of really pressing our boundaries here.
that is really yeah. All right, so Burger will actually turn in the green pendant here momentarily. So we're about to find out.
We're gonna find out in this case if it is in fact the moon pearl that we all have been looking at. But I think for what it's worth, Axe is killing Helmasaur now, and he probably will in this case prioritize that green pendant turn in because
Yeah.
they have actually not done too much. It is
It's
just a
not.
map though. It's to Meyer. So where is this pearl?
I'm well. Laser Bridge now seems like a very good option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is actually where it looks like Magno's gonna go, right?
Looks like Kark is probably also headed in that direction. I would imagine.
Yeah, they're literally one screen apart. The only major difference I would consider on this case between Korik and Magno is that Magno is not as color coordinated as Korik is in terms of swords. I would certainly take the fashion clashing though, versus with the temper sword
I was gonna
versus
say. I was like, I
versus
don't
Korik's.
look. I don't need to be a fashionista. I need to be fast and
Yeah, yeah.
efficient. And by fast, I mean I want the boots.
Yeah, still waiting for those boots. I would also take red mail in order, to make Makino, within like with with stylish again. So.
Yes. I mean, being stylish is always good, but
Hmm.
being effective and efficient, I would say, is slightly better.
Yeah, we actually do see that, and you're talking about actually being able to spend money. So Korik does not have sword beams. He is actually, in this case, purely begrudgingly spending more rupees for that bow.
He's got 800. He's in fine. He's doing fine.
Should be fine, yeah. Actually, so in this case, I'm gonna see in this case, yeah. So it looks like Broker is actually going to sequence break and defeat Mothula here without the fire rod.
Yeah.
But this sequence break is much easier, right, with the lamp.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So Ack is taking, I think, for at least the third time,
Yeah,
this
I've seen him
connector.
here many times. It's a great feeling, by the way. People talk about, oh, I don't want to do Spiral Cave without the boots. How about without a pearl?
Yeah.
That's
It's
I mean, it's I think it's even worse at that point. It is not on Laser Bridge. Wall kicks. We found a bug net. We found something else. We found a heart piece.
oh no.
Oh no! What is oh no?
Well,
Oh, are
we
we
just
bunny walking?
I would say we're bunny walking now. we are bunny walking to the top of Hyrule Castle.
Wow. Oh, we have a mirror too. Oh my gosh, this is wow. Okay.
So it wasn't Laser Bridge, but it looks like it's still kind of Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
Link Force Our Tracker is saying we've seen the top of Hyrule Castle. Well, we
We have
haven't seen the
okay.
pyramid.
We have not seen the pyramid. Oh, right. I think I do not remember somebody coming out of at least like the middle entrance for like the Vanilla Aka Tower one. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
watching
so
four
Kowick
screens.
needs
That's
to.
that's
Yeah,
hard.
it is hard. Okay. So the moth is down for Broger. It is a 3 bombs and a crystal. Crystal.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks
Okay.
like on Magno and Broger's side that we do see that swamp is a pendant.
Okay. So I think that is full knowledge then. If right, we have pendants at Hera, I
No,
think.
we're missing one
Oh no,
pendant.
Hera's a crystal. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah. Yeah, Korak needs to kind of live through the rest of Dark Worlds. I mean, I guess Magno's in no better position because we're also on 3 hearts. It's kind of dangerous. He
Yeah,
should be
but
in
with
theory okay.
yeah, with Blue Mail, like they're not going to get one shot by anyone except I think the Hinox.
Right. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Hinox, actually, did Broger come or did Magno do this? The fake pod entrance. Oh, this is desert. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. By the way, okay. So it looks like the fairy cave outside of Pot is the chicken house. So we well, I think maybe in theory, Magno can damage boost off an enemy to try and get Super Bunny state inside. But you can't actually throw bombs, can you? Or can you? As a
No,
bunny?
not as a bunny.
Okay, okay. So we can't actually end up getting that one. We actually do that's hard pearl locked.
Nope.
All right. Okay.
Tracker's also on right side pointing out that it looks like Eastern will be our last pendant.
Ooh.
Yes, because we do
So
see a C on. Oh my God, Broger, what are you doing, buddy?
no, he's just being scary. It is a blue rupee on pyramid. Wall cakes. Where's our pearl?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Have we seen any of the like? So we saw that desert entrance right there. Have we seen any other desert entrance?
Have we actually? Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Have we gone out in the middle yet?
Well, going in the middle is not logic. So
Oh, even
the
with the sword. Okay.
well, because we can't as a like we're blocked as a bunny being able to
Oh,
lift
right,
pots.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So like
Okay.
the logical way to do this, since we are on the left entrance of desert, would be to assuming that this is the answer. Not saying it is, but it would be to walk from left to right. Act just found the middle entrance. That's
Yeah,
kind of
well,
funny.
how about okay. So yeah, so speaking up. So okay, so none of the Desert Palace interest.
Well,
So what's
if right side desert is in the light world somewhere, say Graveyard Ledge, then these desert checks aren't logic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
And
because
I
you
guess
can
we're gonna find
logically
this
be
out.
expected to walk as a bunny from left to right, right
Right.
to
Mm-hmm.
left. Um,
Yeah, it'll just be a bit slow. It just obviously just bit very
yeah,
inefficient.
and
Right.
and this would actually like if this is the Moon Pro, this would actually kind of be good for Korok and Ack because Ack is kind of just right here. He did
Right.
find
Mm-hmm.
an entrance and can just be like, oh, I can just walk in, take the bunny or take the fairy or bunny revive whatever, and be fine. Looks like Brogar, like weirdly enough, we're kind of converging all at once. Like we have spent the first 45 minutes doing wildly insanely different things. Um, and now we're all kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, it looks like, we are going to get a Moon Pearl bottleneck in this case, and we're also going to get completely slaughtered by Broger. What does he do? I don't know if that was intentional or not. It looks.
He's
Oh,
definitely
maybe. Oh,
setting up
yeah,
a
yeah.
death warp.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was gonna ask. So, like, so Ak was also kind of in like the North Dark World-ish area, right?
Yeah, I have no idea how
Would
he got there.
you? Would you like? How much of like Bunny arriving in Skullwoods would you consider like in co-op in this case? Would you maybe try and do this and maybe like
With,
stall for some time?
with the big key, I'd be okay with it.
Okay. It is a lot of health for what it's
Hey,
worth. Oh, did we find the Moon Pearl in the
we
Desert
found a Moon
Palace thing?
Pearl.
All right. Okay. So now I'm pretty curious to see where this Desert Palace right side connector is because like we both end up coming over here in the Dark World, right? So we got both
It's
desert connectors on the
100%
left.
going to be vanilla. This is going to be a vanilla. Ready?
Oh, you're right because we got
Ready?
the book pretty late. Yeah.
Oh, almost. I was close. I
Well,
was.
wait, where are we supposed to have come from? Like, how did we
Well,
how did we get
that
a board?
no, that was entirely logical.
Oh,
Again,
right.
you can
Well,
walk
we
as a
walked up
bunny
to right.
from left to
Yeah,
right.
that's right. Okay, that's right. And then we had a glove pretty early from Pod, right?
Yeah.
So yes, okay, we
So
can
yeah,
actually get this.
so the
What
the
a
the
trip,
way to get to the Moon Pearl this seed was to get your cane, get your lamp, get your TR big key, take the laser bridge exit, funny, and then
Which
walk
is Pod.
from laser bridge, which gets you to the pod area, and go into the desert entrance to walk back in, and yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that
Fun
is a
game.
lot. Good thing we can sequence break at least some stuff. And I guess for what it's worth, even though we've been playing like 50 odd minutes in this case, like basically looking for that pearl. I mean, yes, like we did probably do a good amount of bunny walking as well. Like maybe like I'm trying to copium my way into like why don't we have the boots yet, type of thing.
Um,
And I guess maybe the boots wouldn't have done as much because we were
because the boots are in mire.
boots are but don't we need a hook shot? Don't we need a hook shot for that? I
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
think about this. Oh, think about this. I just want to find the boots, man. Like, I mean, well, actually, I guess, man. I mean, maybe depending on how kind of like the money situation like plays out. I mean, like right now, Broker and Magno are also the ones with the Temper Sword knowledge as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that is. I mean, that actually could make like like oh my god, Korik. Please don't
I mean
die.
that's not insignificant. Like
Mm-hmm.
having tempered sword is a massive upgrade from master sword.
Yeah, and I'm actually just wondering, even if it's like, if we end up finding nothing else, right? I assume it might be worth it. At the very end, like if you're just in go mode and you're ready to go fight Ganon, like maybe it's actually worth it to go and like if you have the money, go buy Temper Sword from Zora before going into the final fight.
If you don't have silvers, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
way too long of a distance to trek
Okay, I think that's
to get a
fair.
sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're actually talking about though, right?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just kind of like observing, like looking at kind of like the money counts for
Mm-hmm.
for basically all four of our guys here. Looks like Broger at least has a good amount of money, but I mean everyone else is. I mean, you like okay, so like the upside of having a rupee bow is that you're not limited in this case by the number of arrows. Like you're not capped at 30, right? Which is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
the standard one, but at the same time, like you are like you also could just be hitting like a ceiling, right? Because of lack of funding, right? Because right now, like you can just go pick up aeropods wherever, right? And you know where those are. Here, I mean, like everything is monetary, and your money sources may not always be so obvious.
Yeah, and Magno with the tempered sword already in hand, just picks up another 300 rupees, so he's probably feeling pretty good. Korik's money situation is just fine. Ak is entirely not in good money situation, unless that's an 8 and not a 0. I'm pretty sure it's a 0.
It looks like
That's a 0.
0036 on Cork side, but it's also fine. Like if it's a 3
Yeah,
or an 8 or whatever.
but Ak is definitely at 26, and I'm confident that that's 00 in front of that.
00 seems much worse than single 0 in this mode.
I mean, 00 in GoldenEye 007 is the hardest mode in the game.
Mm. Well,
Because
but
you're
how many digits
00
are
agent.
there?
Well,
There are only 3, right? Or at least 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
you're
just
right.
trying.
You're right.
I was trying to make a joke, and no, I'm just kidding. Hi, Claire. How are you?
Yeah. Oh. All right, so it looks like Ack is also cleaning up the front of Escape. Yeah, we're actually gonna get a bunch more keys as well, so it's gonna be pretty nice. But guys, this was coverage that we haven't necessarily done so far. But looks like we also did find Mini Moldrum Cave. Did we already find that earlier?
We did not, or if we did, we
Okay.
definitely found it as a bunny and couldn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We did get a GT big key.
Oh, okay. We definitely did not come over here earlier just because we were pretty pro locked. So it looks like at least like Magno is at least the forefront runner, basically trying to get like at least making like the first headway into Village of Outcasts. But Korik is certainly
Yeah,
not far behind because he ended up doing a bunch of Skullwood stuff beforehand.
yeah, but on the other hand, Brogar for Potatoepouch, definitely in a crystal advantage.
Oh, yeah. I was actually just watching this because this is actually his fourth dungeon. So
Hmm.
he did beat Pod, which is very understandable. Um,
Yep.
well, yeah, but then in terms of like actually dungeon, right? He sequence broke out Skull Woods in the back with the lamp and no fire rod. He went to consciously go and beat Desert as kind of
Hmm.
like a as I think he was the second one on their team to go do it. Now he's gonna pick up his third crystal. So
Yep.
certainly, I mean, ultimately, like it's great in order to have like efficiency and co-op and exploration and all that stuff. At the end of the day, you need to be on the winning team. You need to on the team with all of the crystals done first. So
Right. So I think now's a good time. We're a little bit kind of going over each other's steps a little bit. I'm going to give a shout out to all of our owners, Brogar, Magno, Ack, and Korak. This is quite the race that they've put on for us, given this Moon Pro location.
oh yeah.
And this is league. I think this is what league
This is round two.
round two. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, we found a hook shot in Hera basement. That is pretty dang
Oh
nice.
gosh, that's terrible.
I was actually just gonna ask you, like, and now I mean, it looks like Broger is actually going to Hera pot up. I mean, we're gonna go beat Hera. I guess it's a crystal. We just don't have a
Yep.
big key for it.
Yep. But it looks like Korak's not going to be too far behind. Ack does find Eastern Palace. Not sure where he found that. I know he was on top of Dark Death Mountain a little bit ago and found a connector. I'm assuming he probably took that connector
Okay, it's
and
very possible. Yeah, Aka's certainly taken like a bunch more, I guess, like connectors and stuff. Like on at least between himself and Korik.
hmm and this is good for we all should hover every day because Korak is going straight to the basement. Which,
Mm-hmm.
considering you obviously don't have the Hera big, yeah, you're doing it.
Oh yeah. So, oh no. Well, speaking of not good things, Magno just got completely bullied by Moldorm. I don't even think there was anything he could even like do about it. So, okay, like, if you were, I mean, in Korik and Magno's position, like, you just
Hmm.
got the hook shot. I mean, would you be doing what Magno's doing here?
Oh
And
yeah,
and
definitely.
okay.
Like this is where having a teammate is nice because you can kind of tell your teammate, hey, clean up after me a little bit.
Oh, I see, I see. As in, you could basically just get the crystal, and then like the only I would say like risk, right, is that there is in fact something in the big chest, and you have to basically
Hmm.
come back over here and then get it again. But if it's not, like you're already here, it's certainly much more efficient for you to just clear out the dungeon now. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
absolutely. All right, so that's a hook shot for Korak and Ack, or at least
All
for
right.
Korak, who
Mm-hmm.
will inevitably tell Ack.
Yes, uh-huh. And then looks like actually Kubrick is leaving. I do know that he sometimes does not like to necessarily sequence break or like do Harapot without the big key. But again, as you mentioned though, like it might be different solo versus co-op, right? Solo, like
Yeah,
you don't have a buddy, trying to help you out here. So
and a little, and there is a little bit on some level of you have to at some point commit to the fact that you need to clear your crystals.
right, mm-hmm,
And I
yeah, that's
and I'm
true.
fairly certain Korak and Ack know that uh, Hera was a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't pay attention to the silly PNCs on the top left, so if
Yeah,
there's
but
one there, yeah, I wouldn't know it.
yeah. Oh, well, okay. But it looks like in this case, there maybe they're still trying to delay a bit. Yeah, it's certainly different strategies, right? Compared to what we've
Hmm.
seen. Because Burger and Magno have really been pretty, hard. I guess like going after on like just like clearing out your crystal dungeons. You can actually see that, very evidently from our trackers like Link Force and Walter have done.
Hmm.
Versus I think Ack and Koark is still trying to get a bit more coverage in this case.
Yeah, and so Korak does have the GT big and has the hook shot and has a full way to climb. Um,
Did we find Ganon today, by the way?
I
Does
was
anyone
just
know?
thinking, like, is Ganon vanilla?
I don't remember seeing Ganon. No, Link Force says
No.
no. I trust Link
Thank you.
Force.
Is useless fairy back there? Maybe.
Maybe.
Again, early on with the divergence that we had, Link Force is just gonna continuously get mad at me.
Yeah, we have 6 more shots to go.
I have 6 more
before
shots.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Because we've seen. Is it No, it can't be Lost Woods. Well, it's not. All right, we've seen Lumberjack, we've seen the Well, we've seen Uncle, we've apparently seen Ganon, we've apparently seen Useless Fairy. I know we've seen Magic Bat. That leaves us with Lost Woods drop down, I believe.
Is it Lost Woods drop down? I can confirm it's something. No, it's Lost Woods as well. Is it the Well?
I think it has to be Useless Fairy.
Okay. Oh, were we there earlier? I thought Useless Fairy was the Well.
Wait, I guess that's second. Why is it?
Oh no, it's so good.
It's
Okay,
fine.
so yeah. All right. So meanwhile, we've stalled for enough time to get through Eastern Palace. I know, like maybe
Did
that's not
did we get
necessarily
anything?
We did not get anything, I believe, out of Eastern
Okay.
Palace. At least I do not see anything new on Axe Tracker.
Oh, that's a flute.
Where was
That
that
Korak
flute?
just picked up in GT Big Chest.
Oh, very interesting.
And
So
that's
we do not have. Well, we still need mitts, right, to make that flute kind of interesting. Okay, the flute's always interesting. Don't get me wrong. Like it's gonna really because
it,
we just got the hook shot. We have had 0 movement items since then,
Mhm.
or before then. So the flute's certainly gonna be really great, but like no additional logical access anywhere, right?
Yeah, but the other issue that it does bring up is that since Brogor bomb jumped all the way to Ice Armos, there's little incentive for Potatoepouch to kind of do GT Big Chest.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great point. Yeah, because well. Oh, right. Because we went all the way to Yatu. Now, I guess like they still have like the right side of GT as a second
Yeah,
chance.
yeah. There's definitely a second chance opportunity, but that's also, you know, that's a long way to cover for the one check.
All right. Okay. Looks like Korik is not climbing for the time being. We do have the flute. Oh yeah, that's right. It's so convenient. We literally just gonna go activate the flute like immediately.
Yeah, makes it easy.
Okay. So, what do we still need in this case for like to finish up the rest of the game? Because I think we do have our full Crystal Dungeon knowledge, right?
We need a Fire Rod and an Ice Rod.
That's it. That seems so easy. It's just 2
Yeah.
rods. How bad could it be, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think entrance-wise, we still need to find. I don't think we've seen Ice Palace.
We have not seen Ice Palace. I believe you are correct.
And full disclosure, I'm not keeping an entrance tracker, so I don't know what entrances we haven't done yet.
Yeah, I also do see a suggestion that we do need booths. I wholeheartedly agree. I would very much like to see them at any point. That would be fantastic.
All right. Korak back in Hera. Looks like this will be a clear on his end. I don't think he picked up the big key. I think this is just, hey, I'm going to take care of this now.
Yeah, and as you said before, right? At some point, we just have to go basically and start, committing and actually like saying that okay, like I'm gonna go clear this crystal because that is ultimately the goal. Is we actually do need crystals at the end.
All right.
Yeah,
So
and then.
go ahead.
Oh no, it's the only other major difference is that Magno and Broger still have knowledge of that tempered sword, and so like whether or not Broger will actually get it at the very end, that is basically at least a choice for him. That is not on the table for Ak and Korik right now, especially for Ak. Maybe Korik, because just because he has like so much money, and like I guess we haven't really done any of the flipper checks really, like because once we don't have flippers, but for Ak, I think he's been kind of struggling basically for keeping funds up basically like the entirety of the game.
Well, he's like the reality is there were 600 rupees in Hera in the first 2 checks, and Ak I think just picked both of them up.
Oh well, okay.
Broger did not.
Do you think that just gets lost in the shuffle? Like, I mean, or like, do you like, it's like, oh yeah, like you just need the hook shot in Hera basement, and like that's kind of it.
I think in Retrons you have to at least shout out 300s.
Okay. Yeah. I also think that's very reasonable because money is pretty much like one of the like I mean like resource management is definitely a thing in all of Rando, whether it's in whatever mode it is. In veterans especially, money is probably one of your primary resources at this point. Oh no,
Hmm.
we're gonna mirror block. Okay, we are
We're stuck.
we're gonna get stuck instead.
I mean, at least you're able to go back into that, but that's not what I've seen get stuck on, because like we've all done it before where we have mirrored on top of the guy who runs,
Oh, yes.
and
That seems like
and
a
that
harder
is
job, yeah?
painful because
Hmm.
you have to like successfully, I think, time the save and quit right, because I think that's a
Hmm.
save and quit. I think that's a soft lock.
I think for all intents and purposes, you are like believe you're correct. I heard some rumors about like you can technically, in theory, advance one frame at a time or something, but I think the number of frames might be too many for us to reasonably just kind of sit there. By the way, Broger's climbing.
Yeah, I
We're
think
gonna we're
this.
gonna find out. We're gonna find out what's not only on the top of GT, but probably what's behind Aga 2. Either by seeing a Broger finish like Aga 2 and then like dropping down in the pyramid, or he is going to not do Aga 2 and then we'll figure that
Well,
out. It is useless fairy.
hey, Clear Mouse, look what Magno's
Yes.
doing. Well,
Magno here is in Meyer. Oh my gosh, he is dashing! Dude, hurry up back!
but by the way, did I not mention about where these boots are gonna be?
And oh my god, ads walking. You are so correct. I did not even think about this. Oh man, I forgot that you mentioned that like I don't know, like 30 minutes ago or something. Yeah, the boots are just in Myers. Like okay, thank you, hit dude.
I'm just telling you, like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so well, okay, and I think also this was also pointed out before. So there's probably also red mail here. So
Mhm.
Ak at least will be able to pick that up. Not gonna be. I mean, he doesn't probably care at this point whether it's red mail or not. We certainly care on Magno's side because he has Temper Sword. But probably most importantly, it is certainly a very red dungeon because, well, we're gonna boots, we get a red mail, and we're gonna get a very dead Vitreous hopefully soon. 5-6 also is Meyer in Ice Palace, right? I don't know if
Yes.
Pyramid Fairy also is gonna come into play here. We did find the bomb dude pretty early,
I
but
mean,
also I don't.
considering like the one dungeon that we're missing is one of our 5-6, um,
Mm.
I seems very unlikely that we are going to need
Oh,
our.
maybe need that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I one thing that I actually kind of just remembered, um, you know, we. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself. We talk a little bit. I talked a little bit, and I guessed Boots in Mar kind of following the stupid. Oh, hey, you have you know the access to one way to clear a dungeon gives you the other way to beat a dungeon, and what I mean by that is that in Ice Palace, there are two ways to go through the front door. One of them is Fire Rod. One of them is Bombos. Clearmas, do you remember where Bombos was?
I certainly do remember where Bombos was. We
Where,
saw it teasing us on Desert Ledge. We had
yeah,
not found a connector over there, had we?
we have not. So, in theory, you know, maybe um, this is where the ocarina, flute, one of those two things, might actually come into play a little bit. Because in theory, if we get Mitt somewhere, we can get that Bombus Medallion, and assuming that we then find Ice Palace, we can then do Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm. That is actually a very, very good point. Yeah. So, I mean, and also like the flute is just going to be able to enable a lot more like fast travel, right?
Yeah.
For at least for the light world. I mean, maybe it kind of depends on like how good the connectors are in order to try and get you to different places, but still like a flute to wherever, like flute to 7, in
Hmm.
light world is super, super nice and easy. Where are these boots, man? I've been waiting the entirety of Meyer, for Act to go find
I
these
think
things.
I think they're in Spike Chest,
Spike chest. Okay, all right.
which I mean, like Ack is doing the correct clear of this dungeon. Um, I for a second thought he was not about to do this check, which would have been devastating.
Is he gonna get this?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
fine.
Oh, well, that is worth any amount of. Oh, dude, look what we found. You okay? So both. Okay, so Broger and Magno have the myths access from the top of GT. Kobrik has the flute from the big chest. It is interesting. Oh, I
Oh
think
no,
Aka's gonna
Ag.
die. Does he have
He's.
a fairy?
I know
I
we've
don't
seen a
remember.
fairy in a bottle, but I don't know if he picked it up. No, he did not. I don't think that's too bad considering he was probably just about to try to go to whoever it was, anyways, Vidi.
Yeah.
So
He was just gonna go Vitreous. In this case, he also has like health refill as well.
yeah,
So okay, it looks like we actually did not beat Agatu, so it looks like we uses fairies in the back.
yep.
So
Which
but
makes sense.
yeah, and of course, right, and this is going to be much nicer, for Broker. So I'm assuming that both Korik and Broger have taken the hints. We're just gonna pick up the Smith real quick before we end up heading over to Meyer. I assume Korik is very much interested in getting those boots as well as Broger.
Yeah. Um. Man, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to pat myself on the back.
Well, I mean, you
This is about
can,
the
right?
runners. Look. I don't know. These are about the runners.
Oh no, I mean for sure. But so okay, so where do you think our next piece of progression actually is going to be? Like, I mean, is it these?
It's gonna be in the Mire area. Ice Palace is gonna be in the Mire area. The Bombos Medina is gonna get its access in the Mire. We're gonna find the fire red in Ice Palace.
Okay, all right, okay. So given that, who do you think maybe has a better chance of getting the other component at this point, right? So Ak and Korik need the myths from Upper GT, and
Hmm.
Roger and Magno need the flute from GT Big Chess.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be Ak and Korak. Like I have a hard time believing Magno and Brogar are gonna be getting to that big chest anytime soon.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I mean, it certainly does seem it certainly does seem like that is the way it looks so far. I mean,
At least Magno will have the better opportunity about it because now with the hook shot and the boots, doing right sequence breaking right side is a lot easier. And then that's your one and only opportunity at this point to probably go get that
mm-hmm.
to get the flute. So again, it's yeah, we're kind of in an awkward like we have information. It's just a matter of when does one of the teams do kind of what the other has done.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. And if Broger and Magno, I mean, they have played like a ton of rando. I mean, I think they've been in multiple league seasons, so I'm certainly they're more than capable of being able to sequence breakout right side.
Oh
I just
yeah.
don't know in this case how. I don't know, like because it's still technically non-logic. Like you do get compass room. I just don't know like how incentivized they are to actually do that. But I mean, that being said, like it certainly does give you like it doesn't orphan in this case like the GT Big Chest. All right, that is a Meyer down for Ak. And we get to see in this case the benefit of not having to full clear out Meyer. Korik is actually basically right behind Ak in terms of the Meyer clear, and he's certainly and I'm sure he was told that the only thing of value in Meyer were the boots and spike chest. Yeah.
And
Okay.
like and that's part of the good thing about having the co-op situation is that one of your either you or your teammate does the dungeon and you can tell the other teammate, hey, you just need this chest and you can go.
Exactly. Yeah. And use in this case hope that like the you only need this one chest type of or message, right?
Hmm.
It is I mean certainly you have the required items, but if what else makes it on that list? Is a heart container? Is it money, right? You actually could be in a situation like as in like maybe in Korik's position, like he could maybe like need it would be nice to have like another bomb or two, right? And
Right.
maybe 3 bombs may not necessarily make the list, right?
All right, so where are at this point I'm kind of curious to see where people are going. Brogar still without still no flippers on either side, so like
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting point too, right? So I mean that completely locks us out of Swamp at least for what it's worth. I mean for better for worse. I
mhm.
have heard that Swamp Palace is probably not people's like fan favorite dungeon to go dive, especially even in entrance. It is kind of nice to have to be able to skip it out entirely. Uh, but I mean, but yeah, like I guess we're just maybe waiting at this point to see who in this case is okay, like either Korik and Act climbs GT first, or Broger and Magna kind of go back to GT Big Chess.
I definitely think there's a little bit of a, hey, we need to, kind of catch up on our dungeons on Korek and Axe side.
Okay, that's also that seems very reasonable. Yeah, because right, so they certainly put off like they do in the Back of Skull Woods, right? They kind of put off like Hera Korik did put off Hera initially. He did go back for it later, but yeah, like certainly looking at kind of like the crystal count between Ak and Korik versus Broger and Magno, Broger and Magno certainly have the earlier advantage.
Yeah, and like particularly like Korok needs to do some dungeon clearing. This is going to be crystal number 5 for Act that he's in right now. And Korok only has 3. Now, provided the 2 dungeons that Korok hasn't done, Skull and Desert, are 1, easy to get to, 2, easy to clear.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and actually, and I guess maybe like maybe as a comparison point, so Broger is gonna finish up his 5th dungeon now on Meyer, and Magno does have in this case 4 crystals, so it's kind of like he'll be basically 5 and 4 versus kind of like 5 and 3. Yes, you are correct in that the dungeons are relatively quick, but it's certainly I think very reasonable for Korik to kind of maybe like he focuses more on dungeons, versus maybe and like Ak can maybe do some more like overworld exploration or something.
Yeah, like I have to imagine at some point for Ak and Korak, they're gonna kind of zero in on the fact that the GT climb is probably their best, most dense option.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I certainly imagine basically Act clearing out Thieves Town, and just like kind of who did this earlier. So, forgot which one of Morgor and Magno did it like first. There's just like nothing here, right? And so like Korik can pretty much do this kind of at any point. Maybe in this case, like if they can't maybe split up much more stuff, Korik will just clean out Thieves Town, and then Act can go climb, right? For example, instead of kind of Act like furthering out his yeah, instead of Korik climbing and then, keep being basically lagging in more crystals later.
Oh, that was a little close on Korik's side there. I don't know if you saw it happen, but he fake flippered and immediately got hit by the fireball, but because he does have a fire shield, it actually stopped that
Oh
shot
my
from
gosh,
hitting him.
really? Holy frick,
Yeah.
dude. That is scary. Okay, well, thank you. But see, this is I don't know why people have so much hate on these shields, Oh no, Korik! Oh
He
no. That
bombed.
is so sad. Okay.
That sucks because he was so close to
He
getting the
was.
tempered
Oh my
sword knowledge.
gosh.
Like
Is he gonna
that's
go back?
I don't think so. That's
Oh, he's not sick, kid. This is new. It's nothing. Never mind. I don't. That was kind of like a long ways over. Well, I guess. Okay. I guess we're going back on Korik's side.
Sick Kid was not new because it was right next to Eastern Palace. So I'm assuming Axe. I'm assuming Axe saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, shout out to our trackers, Link Force and Walter.
Oh no,
they're
they're the true heroes of this entire race.
the amazing work here, because it's very hard to watch 4 screens.
All right, yeah, it looks like the Magna. Oh, look at this. Don't you feel like it's like the best kind of camaraderie when you're both inside Eastern Palace while kicks in co-op? Tell me more about this feeling that you have when you.
This is.
Yes, all kind of like memes and joking aside. I mean, I don't know like what other stuff in this case that maybe like Broger and Magno have prioritized, but they both certainly know it's a pendant. It's not even the green pendant, and usually speaking, like when you see 2 people in the same place at the same time, is because you kind of, bottlenecked yourself into this.
Yeah, it's like this tells me that they are kind of running low on overall checks, which means that they might get to that flute fairly soon. Now, for Magno's case, he still needs to climb. Why did that rupee thing just now look like I saw it for a brief moment? I thought it said 11 rupees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like,
that is not a number that exists for us.
Not a number. Also, Magno and Burger are splitting up Eastern Palace. Magno going to Vanilla Big Key Chest, Burger waiting to go straight to, or Burger going straight to the boss, which makes sense.
Yeah. I think this is actually pretty reasonable. I mean, you mentioned this kind of before, right? It's like worst case, like there is something extremely like groundbreaking, as in like it's like Ice Rod or it's the fire, it's something like that. In which case, yeah,
Mhm.
like Broger will have to go pay a price for it. He does have boots for what it's worth, so it's not going to be as bad. However, that being said, though, like if it's nothing, Broker just ends up saving himself a minute, right? And
Yeah.
even in co-op, like your time, I guess, like cost or penalty is amortized a bit because it is two people.
Mhm.
However, though, like any amount of time save you still have is certainly still very valuable.
And like,
Yeah, just like
I
yes, right, just like that. Yeah. Now in this case, Magno doesn't have to finish the dungeon, right? They know what's on
yes.
Ped, and well, I guess they
Well,
technically
we
know
know
what's.
it's on Ped, and
That's
like
true. That's
that's the
true.
thing. Is like, oh, Act doesn't have the GT big key. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no! Where was the GT Big? Oh, it was a mini Moldarm cave.
That was a mini, yeah, which is in which is in Village Valcast. That's a significant time sink right there.
Yeah, that's
Because
actually a
not
good
only are
point.
you not getting the big chest, you're also not climbing. Because I think that was Act's plan the entire time, was to get the big chest
Yeah,
and to
yeah,
eventually
yeah.
climb.
We are back here in pod. Oh, we need bombs. We do not need bombs. What
We
are we
don't need
doing here
bombs.
in? What are we doing here in pod?
We're getting the big chest right here, or the vanilla big key chest, which isn't the GT big. I wonder if we're having a little. I wonder if this is a little bit of miscommunication now.
Hmm. I guess. Well, I thought we
Because
cleared out
this is the
everything in
ice
pod.
big.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, maybe in this case he also wants it, or I guess
Yeah, I
just in
mean
case.
it's yeah, that might be a just in case kind of thing, which
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Korok, by the way, is going to climb, so Korok will be getting those mitts,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. But again, Ack not having the mitts that he's trying to lift up the rock right now, I definitely feel like there's a little bit of Korok is unsure where he picked up that GT big key.
Oh no. Yeah, this actually could be. And then also Korik is trying to. I mean, yeah, like
Korok is
he's
also
also
trying to
trying to
climb
play
right
the
now.
game. Yeah, like it certainly can be a bit more. Yeah, like because right now, like you're trying to be distracted, right? Like you can't always search your VOD, which is
Hmm.
very very valid. It's just like now, like think about all the things you're trying to do, right? Like you're trying to climb GT, you're trying to remember where you are, trying to like fumble together, like where in this case you saw the GT big key, right? And
Right.
it is a lot in order to go and figure this out.
And like if you have auto tracking, it does make it a little bit easier, in the sense of like, oh, okay, you know, the
Right?
auto
Yeah.
tracker
Yeah.
has popped up my GT big key. I can just go back from there until I don't see it on my tracker and
Mm-hmm.
pinpoint it from there. But again, it's you know, Korok is in the process of climbing GT. You don't want to be, while you're climbing GT, also scrubbing through your VOD, trying to locate a big key.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess for what it's worth, I think Korik has Temper Sword. That will certainly make things a little bit easier. Like certainly better than Master Sword, and I think he's kind of at least through the thick of it because we are actually passing this case the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, Magno, though he ended up, so he's gonna try and finish up his next crystal dungeon. Still no fire
Hmm.
rod in sight, but again, these are crystals that we essentially need at the for in order to beat the game.
Yeah. And like this is good on Magno's side in the sense that like, if when you're at a point where you're trying to think, okay, what do we have left? While you're trying to think of that, you should also be trying to still be productive in the sense of like, in Magno's case, clearing his fifth dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, and it actually does look like the parity between Broger and Magno's crystal count is much closer in this case than Korik and Axe.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so like ultimately like we did see in this case like well there so my guess is that they're probably gonna have very similar finish times for Magno and Broger
Yeah.
versus in this case like for Korik and Axe is probably gonna be a bit more different.
I
Keep in mind
mean,
like the
it's very likely at this point that Korok is the one that's on the path. So like, in the sense that Korok gets what is needed next, which is the mitts, which will give him to the Mire area. Ack is going to have to, one, find this GT big key that they apparently maybe don't remember where it is, and two, still climb GT, which will give Korok time to assess and catch some stuff up.
Right, yeah, yeah. That's certainly true. Yeah, and right now, like you actually do see that Ack is still being productive, right? Like it's like he still needs this done, right? It's not
Hmm.
necessarily like early. It's not where the mitts are right now, or maybe, but at least he's still able to do this. He's able to do something with his time.
Yeah. And Magno is now heading into GT. I wonder if this is going to be a right side into the
Yeah,
big
this one
chest.
looks like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so there's the mitts for Korek, which pretty much all but likely guarantees at this point that he needs to remember where this big key is.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looks like I guess I think I also would assume that in this case, like you can only probably scrub your own VOD. You can't scrub your partner's VOD, just because
I
like
honestly don't know. Like
well you
that's
can't
definitely an interesting thing. Like
you can't watch your partner's screen, right? That's what
okay,
makes me think that you can't scrub your partner's VOD. That like
that's fair. The GT big key was in Mini Moldern Cave, which is at Village of Outcasts. It was on the NPC. Yeah, it was the chess game entrance.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Link Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ak is also getting a bit. I guess he really wants this key. Oh my god.
Yeah. I was say I'm not really sure. Like we don't need the key for sure. All right, so Korek is now in the Mire area. This is kind of our next step in the what is our next form of progression. So like it's very much a hey, here's what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Brogar, so Magno and Brogar are both in GT. For Brogar, there's only one thing at this point that you're doing in GT, and that's the big chest. So he's about to be getting his flute.
Right. Right.
Magno will
Yeah.
also probably be getting the flute, just in a different way.
Yeah, well, I mean, right, and there's kind of like no sense in both people sequence breaking. You know, I mean, again, in the sense that we like if there is something here on right side GT, then yes, like Broker will have to do it, but or
Oh, he
uh,
didn't get the.
yeah, it's unfortunate. And you know, actually, you're pointing out the value of the fire shield. You know, before it kind of saved Korik's life, at least initially. I think Magno actually, you know, would actually be kind of nice to have, because it certainly
Yeah.
mitigates a lot of the damage from that shooter.
Oh, hello, Agate Tower.
Oh, well, hello too. Yes,
We're
that is
we're not quite there yet, but
that's true. That's true. Oh my gosh. Oh
oh,
no,
Magno.
Magno. Oh no. I'm sure there's nothing important on GT. Oh, there the oh no. Oh no.
Well, I missed it. What
Those are the flippers in the first chest of Aga Tower.
we haven't found Swamp yet.
We have found Swamp yet. We have.
Where was Swamp?
I don't remember, but I certainly remember seeing Ack find it.
I know we saw the dam.
For sure, I know at least Ack has seen the dam. Seen Swamp.
Okay.
Swamp is at the top of EDM. Right.
Oh, was it like the TR entrance or something? Well, no, it can't
Oh,
be the
I
TR.
no, I don't remember. Okay, so Magno got the sorry, Broger got the flute. So he's gonna be kind of following Korek in this case for, um, at least in the Meyer area. And right, so at least at this and until at least at this point, right side GT is going to be still a mystery because I don't think anyone has actually got over there. That being said, we don't have the fire rod yet, so you know it very well could just be that there's nothing over there.
Yep, and this is good for Ak and Korek, as Ak is in Mini Moldrum Cave. This is where the GT Big is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he needs.
Yeah. I think he said there was also a key in here as well, so that might be, or we're just gonna get everything.
You know, Mirror Shield is important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so after a little bit of kerfuffle and you know,
A lot of actions on both sides. Oh, hey, look, wall kicks. Is the first step of your prediction.
I
We
wonder what
found
we're going to find here.
we found Ice Palace here in the Mire area. And yeah, we're pretty interested right now in finishing up this dungeon. We do have the Bombos medallion to get inside. You predicted that there might be another item of fire inside this palace, wall kicks. That's what you said earlier.
I did.
Related, did you win a Veterans tournament at some point in the past?
I did.
just asking, you know, for some, you know, for the fans.
So the reality is this isn't good for Ak and Korek. Like, because you know, Korek is just behind dungeons at this point. Ak, Brogor, Magno all have 5 crystals. Korek has 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I was actually kind of thinking about, yeah, right. In this case, like, so Magno and Broger, you know, like, certainly as part of it seems like their main strategy was basically to rush a lot of dungeons, into their crystals, and Certainly the Akim Korik prioritize a lot of exploration as well, but like it does, still has the consequence that they still have to go and finish up those dungeons as well.
Yeah, and like Korik found Skullwoods with the ability to sequence break around it and clear it, and chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
Ack did the same in Desert, although he went back and finished Desert, but like you're giving away bits of time by doing that. Now Korik
Yeah,
is right here,
exactly.
which is where Korik is very much in the hey, Skullwoods is literally just right here, so he'll be able to take care of Skullwoods real quickly, but he still has to go up and do Desert at some point anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and certainly like so right now like Ack only needs I guess to finish up Ice Palace. And well, of course, sorry, all four people still need to go find the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod.
Yes.
That for like so that still can be like quite like the equalizer at the end. That being said, I'm not sure where else they have other than maybe Swamp and. Trying to think
Yeah,
like where like like the mid slot. So I think like Broger already did like some of the Smith chain sequence, so that was already not
yeah, it's like
something.
the Smith chain is all taken care of. That's not anything. Yeah, it's just like I said, I think it's largely just ice and swamp, maybe
Mm-hmm.
some minor one-offs. So yeah, we'll see. Oh no, my fire rod prediction.
Well, I guess. Well, I mean, we were able to come into Ice Palace. Like that being
It's
said, that
true.
we can still find the ice route here.
It's true. But well, I mean, we still have one check left. Like the fire rod could still be there, but it's not looking likely. I might not be a witch after all.
Oh
Darn.
well, no. Well, one, I think you'd be a warlock instead of a witch. But also two, like
Let
I
me
think you've
be what I
already.
want.
You're right. Oh, you're right. It's a free country. You can certainly do whatever you would like to do here.
Just kidding.
Oh, we can go here and also pointing out we also do have the big bomb potential. Yeah, because we do in this case have our 5-6 crystals from Meyer and Ice Palace. So
Yeah, and I think entrance wise, I'm not. Have we seen Blind's Hut?
no, I do not believe we've come across that.
So that's a big 5 item cave that is valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now, I guess there is also some potential offensive difference, right? So Korik and Magno have Temper Sword, and in fact, actually, probably on it for the better that Korik went back to finish up the Zora area because he
Mhm.
unfortunately bonked too early in his water walk state, and so couldn't actually get out at the time. And but at least they have this knowledge. I don't know in this case if Ack or Broger are going to try and like consider getting Temper Sword basically for Ganon or for basically anything else at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go all the way for tempered now that we have silvers.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. Right. I mean, so like we also need money for silvers for what it's worth. Like you have to
True.
make sure you have say at least 200 for.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming in this case you don't miss, because you mentioned there's 50 rupees, and it looks like we're gonna be at least okay for the time being. But again, we still have a good number of things we still maybe want to go do.
Yeah. All right. So no rods in Ice Palace, but as chat pointed out, we do still have the big bomb that is now available to our runners. Korik's still not going to finish off Skullwoods. I mean, I know it's not like obviously it's not in logic till you get the fire rod, but like you still got it. You still it's a crystal. You still got to do it, and you were right there. I don't know.
Well, I guess
I'm not the one that's still in league. I got eliminated, so they like they know way more about this than I do. So I will defer to them.
All right, yeah. Okay, oh no. Unfortunately, these torches have a limited time expenditure. And
Yes.
yeah, I guess only having the lamp sometimes can also, I guess, cause certain things to happen. Oh, Korik is here in Desert. I think we found this out early, because yeah, Ack had done Desert too. Right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
but again, this should just say, hey, he needs to clear it. Which, okay, so now we're clearing desert. Again, I'm still a little unsure why, given that you were right there next to Skullwoods, we didn't do Skullwoods. This
Mm-hmm.
seems like we're going out of the way to do a quick dungeon clear when we had another one closer. So, Clemas, where are either of our rods? I
That's
will
a great
take
question
one
because
of
Ice
them at
Palace
this
was
point.
completely right, because Ice Palace was completely empty other than I guess like the Crystal Prize, right?
Yeah,
So
it's the Crystal
I guess
Prize
we would.
and the big bomb potential.
Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, this seed has been very taxing. I mean, literally, like it, like the is such a high levy.
Dang
Like
it! Dang it!
we had to spend so much. We had a $500 sword for Zora. We have 100 rupees potentially we have to go spend on Pyramid Fairy. Think about all the things that we have to in this case get. Oh, we found the Harabiki at some point, did we?
Oh no, Magno.
No, what happened on Magno?
He doesn't have enough magic for Ice Palace.
Oh no. Did we actually find the Harabiki somewhere? And maybe I just
Uh,
missed it.
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh,
He
you're
doesn't have it.
right.
It's
I'm
not
not.
on his tracker.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what Akis wants to
Maybe
do
Act
if
didn't
he's.
finish.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I guess we're gonna find out.
I mean,
Once we get
well,
once we get
let's put it this way.
upstairs.
He definitely didn't, because that's what, 3 out of 6 on his tracker,
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's actually a really good point.
and
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
he's definitely just done the basement and the 2 checked right there. So yeah, so he
Okay,
did
so
not do Hera.
potentially, potentially one of the rods could actually be in the Hera Big Chest. We haven't seen the big key yet, right?
Right.
And the fact that Ak has come here so late, right? I mean, I think really did give Ak and Korek like a good chance to try and find that big key.
Hmm.
But that being said, like we also don't have it still, so that is really
Yeah,
another potential.
and this kind of is, we talked about the whole dungeon disparity. The fact that Ack actually didn't do Hera kind of does make more sense in the sense, because Ack and Korok were closer in dungeons than first thought.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I kind of think we're just down to,
Because we have Swamp,
we
we
have
have
Swamp, we have the Big
Pyramid
Bomb,
Fairy. Mm-hmm.
and this is going to
I'm
be
trying to think what
Swamp
other.
for
Yeah.
Korek, which, I mean, the fact that he's the first one here could definitely swing
He
Ice
looks
Big
there.
there.
Oh no. Oh no. That is definitely not what you want to see. Especially in this case of Ack, like literally, like was literally just in Hera. So
Hmm.
it is okay. It is okay. And we definitely had to
There's
come in
one
here
of our
at least,
rods.
right? So it looks like it's gonna be Fire Rod Go mode, which
Yep.
well, I mean that's better Go modes than some. I'm trying to think though, how many things the Fire Rod kind of locks out at this point that the Ice Rod actually doesn't. I guess we don't do the back of Skullwoods.
Like,
It turns out Broger did not, or Magno, I think, didn't have to. Like, we don't have to do the right side GT, right? That is
yep, right
guaranteed not
side.
to have
Yeah,
anything.
IDT is irrelevant now.
Man, if it's actually like Hera Big Chest, if Act
That'd be
just
funny.
literally delayed it just a tiny bit more, we actually could have potentially been
There's.
in a potentially like a
Oh,
position.
they're checking Ped for the first time.
Oh, hey, look, it's a sword and swamp. Okay, so I guess it turns. Okay, so
Yeah,
this is.
yeah, something means.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah. But at least for Broger and Act, this is actually very good news, right? Because that means that they don't have to go and
Yeah,
uh,
they're
go
getting
get
they're
Zora.
getting yeah, they're getting tempered for sure now.
hmm Okay, so this also might be one of those things. Well, okay, so we are in one item go mode at this point. Koberg is
Hmm.
going basically straight to the back. I assume Ack is going to follow suit very, very shortly.
Yep.
Gonna clear out Ice Palace just as a go mode type of situation. Pick up his bombos, and then we're just gonna go and take out Swamp Palace. And
Yep.
then presumably Ack is going to be doing left side if Koberg doesn't find anything in the front, or sorry, in the back.
Um.
No.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, so Swamp is a pendant, right? So we don't have to necessarily like beat the dungeon. Oh, Ack is
Right.
here in cat.
He's getting the flippers.
Oh, right, right. That's right. I forgot about this.
And yeah, that's all he's gonna do. I mean, it would be total galaxy brain at this point to be like, hey, I'm just gonna do Aga 1 so I can do the fake powder to get my
Yeah.
fire rod, and just,
Wait, does he still have the mushroom?
I don't think so, but
Okay, yeah, because I think at this point
I
it might just
genuinely
be
don't know.
pedestal.
Genuinely have no idea. Okay, link
All
force
right,
our
thanks,
tracker
Link Force.
confirming does not.
All right, Broker is very happy in order to pick up that tempered sword. He's like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to go." Because I mean, he has money now, but again, it's gonna be time. Looks like actually we're gonna get a left side first on Broker.
Okay, I mean It's justifiable given that this is a pendant and you are go -1. I mean, the idea of doing the back of swamp when you're go -1 largely assumes that it's a crystal, and so it's like you have to go that
Mm-hmm.
way anyways. You might as well do that first in case you pick up your go mode, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Actually, it looks like Cowork is actually going back in for left side as well. So,
yeah, I don't blame him.
all
Where's
right. I
Ack
guess
going?
yeah, I'm trying to just think. So like right, so in okay, well, so Magno is clearing up, I guess, like the rest of he's finished up crystal number 6 for him. I'm just
Hmm.
actually wondering like what A can do while Kubrick is kind of finishing up Swamp Palace. Like for sure he still needs to go inside because the ice rod was in the first chest or the map chest of Swamp Palace.
Hmm.
So just in this case wondering like if Ack maybe wants to like do more exploration for something. Like
That
he could do Pyramid Fairy. He can actually just go finish up Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's like, well, he still needs to go finish off Ice Palace. This looks like it might be a
Oh, Smith Chain.
yeah, a Smith chain play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right. I think I want to say it was Broger who did this pretty early. Like basically as soon
Hmm.
as they ended up getting mitts. All right, there
All right.
is nothing here. It looks like on left side swamp.
Yep.
I didn't catch one in the first chest, but Broger has to finish up the dungeon.
Right. But it's definitely not the fire rod because
Mm-hmm.
Magna would be heading directly over there
Oh
in that
yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
But it looks like we are going to get a big bomb turn in. And the chances of this being blindside probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just trying to think
Not,
if there's like really anything else. I think that we like
I,
still
I don't think
haven't
we've
seen.
seen the Ice Palace entrance.
Sorry, the Ice Palace entrance? Oh, no, I at some point Broger, I want to say
Okay.
Broger or Magno checked it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, was it take any? All right, thanks, Walter and Link Force. All right, I'm kind of like curious now to see basically what's here because I mean I think you're correct.
Oh
Or
well.
C-shaped house. It is
It's like
another
or
one
C-shaped
item cave.
house.
It is only so we got a small rebate for our troubles with the big bomb.
Interesting. All right. So, what are your thoughts on Magic Bat or Harabig?
Yeah, Hera Big certainly I think would be pretty interesting. That actually might be, I don't know if Kobrick is willing to go back to Hera Big Chess right there, because he's the one with the big key. But I think doing Pyramid Fairy is also very reasonable, like from Kobrick's
Hmm.
perspective. But I think at right now though, assuming well, actually, yeah. So, actually, kind of looking at like the crystal counts though between Broker and Magno, like Hack and Cowork still need basically to finish up like their last respective dungeons, right?
Yeah.
For Ice Palace and Skullwoods. But at this point, like, it certainly does seem like, well, I think Hack and Cowork are still on a timer, but it certainly does look like that Broker and Magno have at least like a time advantage.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have 2 dungeons banked, but
Mm-hmm.
collectively.
Yeah.
So like it's going to be very difficult for Ack and Korek to catch up. Like, obviously the side rod has to be somewhere. It's just going to be a matter of where could the ice rod be that's bad enough for Ack and Korek that they could catch up before Magno and Brogor get their ice rod.
Right. Yeah. Or the Fire Rod, right, in this case.
I mean, Magno at this point is beginning to prepare for a pet check.
Oh,
Like,
you mean like defeat Aga?
yeah, like he hasn't done any of the pendant dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else here in Swamp? Do you know? I thought it was just the ice rod at the beginning, but maybe I missed
I saw it
something.
in Harabig.
Yeah, yeah, but those are the first two chests, right?
Yeah, that was it.
And so what is act what is like so what was oh the sword, thank you, Link Force. Gotcha. I was like, why is Act continuing in Swamp? And I forgot that he is not the one with the tempered sword.
Hmm.
Alright, what's in here a big chest? It
Not
is a
Harabig
Compass 2
chest.
Ice Palace. Act also has the pendants. Ooh.
Yeah, I would say
Interesting. Mm.
this is quickly turning into a who needs to rush their pendants, who might be able to fake
Wow.
powder.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. The mushroom was in Sanctuary wall kicks.
The mushroom was in Sanctuary, and we had a super
God.
early
Potion shop too,
potion
right?
shop. So like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. If
I,
it actually is gonna be on, if the fire rod is actually on Magic Bat, that is.
I
Oh my
I'm
god.
assuming both Ack and Korik turned in the mushroom. We know Ack has. I mean, and Broger and Magnar are going for it right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what they're doing. I think this is it. I think this is the last location for them.
Yeah, and I think in this case, Broker and so okay, at least Magno, I think he was the one who saved and quit. Right, so Eastern isn't marked on his tracker, but yeah, I think
Hmm.
if both of them are going for it, that means that well, it is going to be at least at this point just a pure dungeon rush.
Yeah.
So, which means okay, so how many more things does this case? Okay, so Broker certainly is very much in the lead. With the like he has all of them, so he's gonna be able
Hmm.
to pull pet first and then check Magic Bat.
Yeah,
Bro
but
Magno.
if Magnar has the mushroom, then he doesn't need to worry about the powder at all because he can just fake powder.
True, true. What a seat, dude. It's
Magno, go through
just
your inventory. I don't know if you still have.
uh, well, I mean, well, so Magno has all the pendants. I mean, so like it's if any if like it would only be great if Magno. Sorry, Stega Broker. Never mind. Yes, yeah. If Magno doesn't have man, yeah, because definitely don't have powder. When are we gonna get inventory check? Do you know? Does it
Never.
quick swap it? Okay.
Because they know.
So at this point, I mean, I guess if you're Ak, you just go rush ped. That's it. Or no, sorry, you would need to rush Aga
Yeah, it's like he's got
and
a
then rush ped.
Rashaga.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that this would be a faster, shorter
This
siege ball
is
kicks.
this is nasty. Like,
Of all places, like, man, when is co like? So I mean, like, yeah, co-op. You no, that's some nice distance
and
here
like
on Magno's side.
Korik is going right now. Like,
Nice. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's much left, right? In this
yeah.
case. So, okay, assuming that this is actually the answer, how much stuff do we have left to go? Looks like Broger is certainly going to be the first one to finish because he has all of the dungeons. Ack is here in Ice Palace, so at least he's in the dungeon lead. Forgetting about like Crystal lead, he is in the dungeon lead between himself and Korek,
Hmm.
and so he'll probably be the first one to finish on their side. So it's going to kind of be a matter of can Korek finish faster in this case than
Well,
Magno,
I
right?
mean, if Magno has the mushroom, this is irrelevant because he fake powders.
True. Mm-hmm.
The reality is Brogar and Magno are on pace to finish within seconds of each other. Because at this point, I have to operate on the assumption that Magno has the mushroom, and is just going to fake powder.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah. Man, that is like if the game was ultimately like kind of okay, so I do think that for what it's worth, like if in this case they still have to go finish up all of the dungeons, like I think Broger and Magno certainly played this very well.
Yes.
It's but I mean if it really did basically come to like a fake powder type of situation where literally the mushroom was in the sanctuary chest, the very first thing that we did in the potion shop was very easily accessible. Like it it could be yeah, it may not feel that great of a seed to play.
Yeah, and like it's so early. It's to the point to where you turn in that mushroom and check it before you even know the fact that the hook or the powder's on ped and magic pad is
Yeah,
behind Naga one.
exactly.
And even then,
Exactly.
it's such a small chance that you run into a situation like this where it's going to be the ice rod that you just don't consider it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, like the fact that this was so far removed, you're absolutely correct. All right, okay, let's see this case. What else? Oh, what we're gonna have? So one of them is gonna go pen. One of them is gonna go and yeah, we're fake powdering on
we're,
Magno's side. I cannot believe the
we are
development here.
burning. You could delete your file to get the mushroom back. Also true. And surely your in-game time would be really fast at that point. And isn't that how this goes? We judge based on in-game time.
Every single competitive competition that I have seen definitely always only measures in in-game time finish wall kicks.
All right, look at this magic bat, fake powder. Oh my God, clear mouse.
This is quite the content, by the way. Look, we have pulling powder from Pet, and we get the
Oh
fire
my
rod off of Magic
god.
Pad. Like, yeah, this is amazing. All right, so that you are absolutely correct in that it is basically like go mode within seconds of each other. I mean, so yeah, Broger's supposed to go feel Magic Pad, and get Fire Rod, but like, holy cow, like what a significant like time save for Magno to be able to keep the mushroom for all this sense. I guess it's the benefit of co-op, right?
Yeah, but like even still, like man, fake. Oh my gosh, that's just ridiculous. I mean, in a good way,
Poor
obviously. Like
Seed.
I don't like. I think I may have said that wrong, but like it just this is such an weird like. How often do you ever get something like this?
I mean, I think you only really can get this in co-op too, right?
Yeah,
Because like in very, very early on, like certainly if you're playing solo, like I really don't think that you would actually save scum
yeah,
that early. Like because like you pick up the mushroom sanctuary and then maybe by the time you find the witch's powder, like you already, I don't know, in this case, like have already like turned it in, and then by the time you find the potion, you've already like gone and done a bunch more of the stuff that you want to basically save, right?
and yeah. Korak is about to get the fire rod because he has the he has the
Oh,
mushroom.
he has the mushroom. Well, how about that? That's awesome.
I mean,
Oh.
this is just
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, okay. So, if you're okay, you are watching, Jeb. Certainly just close your eyes a bit. Okay, Axe gonna do things like the clean way, so don't worry about it. All right. Well, so that's go mode for Korik. But yeah, it
that
certainly
is.
does like look like the right. So the fact that Magno, okay, so the fact that Broger is going to well, they're both basically gonna be on the witch runs just because they've actually had like all of their crystals done at this point. So even though Korik is in go mode, he still has to go finish up Trinex, and he also go and finish up Skull Woods.
Yeah.
So
So like Ak and Korak are actually probably on pace to finish pretty similarly to each other. Same with Brogor and Magno. It's a matter of like, you know, Brogor and Magno just have the lead, just having the dungeon advantage overall. So like, how do you think the seed kind of what was kind of the thing that kind of gave Brogor and Magno the lead in the seed? What like if you in your professional opinion?
my professional opinion. What about
Yes.
my amateur opinion?
I will take both.
Okay, well, so man, I was actually trying to think back. I do think that, uh, like Broger and Magnos, it seems like at least like early on strategy was they really just try to brush a lot more crystals.
Hmm.
And even though it may not necessarily seem like they got more, let's say, like information out of it, like they probably ended up doing crystals, uh, while they were more convenient, let's say, right? As in, like, we're here at the back of Skull Woods, like, we found Skull Woods, let's just go beat the dungeon, right? Type of thing. And I mean, it really does seem this. And then I think the way that they end up splitting up the dungeons, like, what is it? Like one person are doing Thieves Town without doing the big chest, maybe, I think, right? And then somebody can basically go back for it, type of situation.
Yeah. I think part of it is kind of like you said, Wash choosing to not just do the dungeons in front of them when they could complete them. Like Ak went back to the back of Desert twice. Korak will do the back of Skullwoods twice. I think that that causes a little bit of time. We have to talk about the fact that I have to imagine they had a little bit of miscommunication as to where the GT Big Key was.
Oh,
It
the
seems
GT
it
Big
seems
Key.
like
Right, right. Yeah,
Korak
yeah.
probably didn't quite remember exactly where it was. So I think it's just little things like that because this is gonna honestly be not like that far apart
Oh
time
yeah,
wise.
yeah, I definitely agree. But yeah, like yeah, that was actually a very good reminder. Like in the fact that because so we additionally think that like when Korik found the flute in GT Big Chest, that was certainly like an early advantage for Ak and
Hmm.
Korik. Just because yeah, you did mention it's much harder to go back for that flute versus making the climb, right, and going and get the myths that Broger and Magno found. That being said though, the fact that Ak went back to GT basically got I think all the way to the big chest, right?
Yeah, he
Without
got
the
to the
big
big
key.
chest.
Yeah, and then that certainly was a good amount of time lost that it's hard to afford in this
Yeah.
case.
All right. So GG's in chat. Magno finishing first, gonna be checking in with an official race time of 1:52:30. GG's for Magno,
Yeah.
and Brogar's not going to be too far behind.
Yeah. Big GG's. Yeah, looks like certainly. Brogar, yeah, it's already on almost phase 4, and we've got silvers more than enough money in order to do this. So it looks like it'll be like a very solid sweep for Brogar and Magno.
Yeah. So unless something catastrophic happens, they'll be taking game 1 and take a 1-game-to-none lead.
Yeah.
No issues there.
Yeah. Ultimately, the seed was actually pretty nice. Like in that, there was a very convenient swamp sword, right? That kind of really helped out. I think Brogar and Ag, so no one had to go and finish up on Master Sword. Yeah, that's also GG's for Brogar. Yeah, finishing up first and second place. In co-op retros, taking a 1-0 lead over Ag and Korik.
And straight up for like the first time, I now have audio. I have like game audio in my ear.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. I don't actually know what happened between the other two.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we are joined by Brogar and Magno. Hello, GG's.
Thank you, GG's.
GG's. Yo, GG's. Well played,
so
guys.
So just kind of talk us through this. Fire Rod, huh?
So game 1 in the last series was also hard last location pedestal for us. So we finished at 2 hours last seed, last co-op
reference. Negative record, I think, for co-op.
And yet again, we get a nice fetch quest item on the pedestal.
It's not even because like obviously it's a fetch quest in the powder, but like I think one of the first checks in the game, either Sank or Link's house, was the mushroom, and you have magic, and you have the witches. You have the potion shop, I think, right next to Link's house. Like, it makes so much sense to just turn that in and not care.
Usually, I always go with that. I'll always turn in early mushrooms and kind of Magno be like, hey, there's powder on pedestal. I was already like, maybe I should delete my file.
Oh, you actually did consider that.
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, oh no,
no,
it can't happen again, right? It just can't. And then I was like, okay, in case it does, let me play the pendants. So both of us being an Eastern Palace pendant was like the ultimate backstab to the team, I guess. So, like, go out. No, I don't want to. But I have to do pendants most likely.
Okay, but I go check Big Key chest and you do the pendant boss. Okay.
GG's, by the way, to Korak, who will finish 155. I don't have his exact time off the top of my head. Ak hits DNF shortly after, but was in go mode, so they wouldn't have been too far behind. So GG's to both of them as well.
Yeah, big GG's. Yeah.
Who got Moonpearl first, them or us?
You guys got it really quickly with each other. You were both in desert. I think you guys beat Korak by like 5 seconds to it.
Nice.
Okay. So you guys were really close. We also now joined by Ak and Korak. Hello, GG's guys.
Yo, GG's guys.
Yo, GG.
What an awful seed.
If you guys had seen our game 1 in the last series, that was also pedestal. So yeah.
You guys are ready then.
We're ready for pedestal.
Did you read the pad early? Because Magno read it, and I was like, oh no, I already turned in a mushroom. I should delete my save.
No, I don't think Ak or Korak read it until super late.
Oh, okay, yeah. We kind of discussed if this could be a positive thing, but we kind of was like, nah, not really.
But like even then, like how often are you going to really consider the fact that the powder on Ped leading to Magic Bat behind Naga 1 is going to have your Fire Rod? Like it's such a small.
I mean, even if you would force yourself to do it now when you find it, you get the flippers, right? And you'll be like, oh damn, if it is that call, you also still have to place one. So I don't climb them. I go out.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty likely it was going to be there when we did it. I don't know. Didn't seem that bad by the time we got to it.
I mean, same for them as well. Like,
yeah. No, I imagine, of course.
We just
kind of messed up the GT big chest, to be honest.
Yeah, we were scared when Brogar did the climb and all and had like all the mids checks. And then when I went into GT and we were like, dude, I have to climb for the mids, but we have nothing else left, do we? And then have we mistracked? Oh, GT big chest! Oh no! And then I tried to go over the right side GT because that would also be a few more checks for Ice Rod maybe.
Oh,
But then I died, and
Oh.
it wasn't worth it to go there again.
Yeah.
So
And I was
We-
super early in GT and pot combined with like 7 Smirkies, did everything without hookshot. Because I had the hammer. No, a hammer was in pot, right? Yeah, I got the hammer in pot and then GT. So GT Big Chest was kind of isolated. I already saw that Tem was negative about this in chat here.
Did you have a rough time with small keys too?
Excuse me? Say again?
Did you have like a hard time with small keys?
Yeah, all the
start,
time.
Yes,
sure
All
because
the
there was
time.
no shop, right? But I got this shop on the mountain, I think, somehow. On the I can see
Yeah.
my map. I had like 500 rupees. And
It's
Magna
such a
was
pain
like,
to get over there though.
yeah. Manga was like, there's a sword on Zora. So, yeah, but I don't have small keys. And here's
yeah,
the
but I
shop.
don't have money. So
Yeah.
I did the water checks out of logic, splash deletion, and I was like, dang it, I just had 500 rupees. Did the bow splash deletion, and I got
I
below
got a little
500.
laugh on that one because
And
you
I was
spent
like,
20 rupees.
I'm so dumb. So I reset after the hobo to get my money back. But then I splashed it
That's
with
so
Mario.
funny.
And then I had 0 money after I got the sword, and I was like, I'm not resetting this.
That's awesome.
I went back to Hera for collecting the 600 rupees. I forgot to. Maybe I can buy the sword later or something.
But yeah,
So, yeah.
at Core, kind of talk us through your seat because like you guys were kind of neck and neck for them for a while. It looked like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication about the GT Big Key.
No, it was like all of the big keys, but that one was just kind of important to remember. But he would tell me stuff, and I would just be like, okay, and then it was gone. You know.
you acknowledge, but in one ear, out the other, almost.
And the GT Big Key was like the one that he couldn't remember after the fact.
Mhm.
On all of the I'm like, hey, where was that again?
Yeah.
That one.
We
So-
mistracked the Quake and got a bit scared then in the end, and I had to check my VOD, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
where was it? And then
I
I
had
was
to
in Ice
scan my
Palace on
VOD
the
too.
other hand, and messed up there, had no
Cork,
bombs.
were you scanning the VOD while you were climbing?
Yes.
Yeah, Gauntlet plus scan VOD.
Yeah,
Nice.
we were
Same time.
talking about that. I'm like, there's no way Cork is scanning his VOD and climbing at the same time.
Yep, I totally was.
Oh my god. Dude,
At least
that's
you had
insane.
tempered. I know. At least you had tempered though.
Yeah.
But, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
I had a big mess up with all of the big keys. Like I went in the desert and I just left. Then Cowork's like, I can do that, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I could have too. And then like I didn't check anything in TR either when I had the big key as well. So
mhm.
I just assumed I didn't have it. And then
I mean,
when I
it
don't
was-
have them, I assume I do. It's kind of a real twisted world I live in.
No.
It was quite so many big keys to my face, at least. I might know how to backtrack them all. So also forgot
mean, a
about
minute
Pod
50
GT and-
A minute 50 Moonpearl in a co-op seed is just trash. You can't do so much, but it's like you
Yeah,
have
the Moonbear
to
was nice.
you have to go everywhere together and stuff. So bad.
Warkix just told us we had them apart of each other by 5 seconds or something.
Yeah, you guys both got the Moon Pro like at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, I
That's
thought that
cool.
would have been like a big turning point of the season. I was really surprised when I like just briefly scanned the VOD to check like Moon Pearl collection. I was like, bro, we're like in the same freaking room.
Hmm
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It
And
was
like,
kind of the last thing we could do, I think.
I think is kind of was the last thing for both of you.
Yeah.
Although, Ak, I'm not sure if you had turned in Green Pendant by then. I was almost convinced that it was going to be on the Green Pendant turn in.
I did, but it's okay. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't. Truth be told, I was really forgetful this seed, so who knows?
I think you did. I think I saw the Meyer.
No, I forgot.
no.
Oh,
No.
dang. Correct out collection rated us all by a
I
lot.
bet.
Yeah, that's a significant collection rate.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we had last
Alright.
occasion as well, so
That's kind of weird too that your collection rate's so high also, and you're the one that didn't get the pendants.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I did
actually-
everything that's not Eastern and Helma, so.
so Egg has like 80 checks or so.
Probably.
Hey, don't mess with the pendant players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that did it properly. They turned in their
Yeah,
mushroom.
yeah, you guys are
Exactly.
cheaters.
you're
Very
just
fake
9
power.
out of 12 guy. Correct has 10 at least. Might know you got beaten by Correct.
There were many occasions where I just missed 1 or 2 small keys, and it was awful. Just because I paid for Zora.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess the Old Man Take Any Cave, I didn't find it. Maybe that was tucked behind GT or behind Skull Woods, but I was really like waiting, you know,
Yeah,
for
the
that
left-
to be the sword.
The left mountain drop had a sword.
Yeah, Ak, you found that. You were the first. You were the first one to find the
Oh,
sword.
dude.
You
You're
didn't call
right. I told him about that. I was still looking for it though. I wanted the second one. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah, we can say either Skullwood's entrance or GT entrance has to be the blind hideout thing.
The
Okay,
blind
we
side
didn't
out,
find
yeah.
out.
I think one single check was also left in blind side out. Not sure.
Okay, fair.
So I sent Magno to Red Bomb after I went to Swamp because I was like, I ultimately will be doing Swamp as a pendant player here. So you go play Red Bomb.
Yeah.
So you could play it on only Ice Rod. Slacker.
Fun seed to co-op though, for sure. Definitely a lot of
Yeah.
very important information to pass back and forth.
Imagine
Like,
you
just
do
moving around
reset
is
that mushroom.
such a pain.
Or you take the time to death warp with the mushroom. Just to not save and
Would you just
continue.
climb Aga Tower then if you dodge the pendant bosses? I mean,
No.
we could do pod really early. It made sense for you to make.
I had the bow and 7 Smarties. Why would I not find the hammer then?
Eastern Palace made sense when we did it, and
Oh, that was
I mean-
awful.
okay, yeah, Eastern is awful.
Same time, Eastern is like a punch to everyone's face.
But I made you go moded, so
Hey, wait! I opened the chest.
Oh my gosh.
I did
Yes.
cannonball the second chest and big key chest.
Yeah,
What
that's-
else do you want?
All right. So this was game 1. You
Yes.
guys, do you guys have a scheduler who's running for game
Yes.
2, which I believe?
Tomorrow it's. Do
Oh.
you wanna go or? Were you asking what do you know? Sorry,
No, I was asking. Do you know?
Yeah, Jem and how's the guy called? Tammy is going against each other tomorrow at 4 hours later than today, I think.
Are you
Or
guys just
PM
1v1ing?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
yeah, we pilot just let them run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, just eat popcorn. And stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
it will be
a pilot
spoiler
that you
pilot.
guys are playing.
Yeah, it's just a key sanity because we want to get the spoilers.
Okay.
Gentleman's agreement. Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if someone did that.
This is used to me.
We can't really.
Team chats.
Yeah. Our schedules don't line up, so we're just gonna do a pilot. But like the 2 people that can't make it, they're just not gonna be there.
Nice.
Oh, that's really smart. Yeah, that's good. Little league loophole. I'm sure no one will get mad if you do that.
Yeah, but considering scheduling, it's always a bit tough because we are like Europeans paired with Oceanic, right? So playing Americans is always a bit tough to schedule. But I have to say a big thanks here to Washed for being awesome in scheduling with us. That was quite fast and super easy to do.
The scheduling was, the seed wasn't. But yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's our pleasure. It's for the compliments. It's no
Oh,
issue.
yeah,
No
it
issues
would
for us
be.
either.
It would be a key sanity by the runners, where the runners can loudly stream snipe.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I think that one probably will raise a few more eyebrows, but
Bruh. All
thank
right.
you guys.
Anyway.
Thank you for comms. Thank you to the trackers too. Actually, only thank you to the trackers. I like to give them extra thanks. They get your helpings.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. They were godsends this seed because at the beginning the 4 of you were just doing wildly different things. So watching 4 screens at once and 4 different places was not easy.
Sure.
Walter was
And-
the other tracker, by the way. He just had to
Yes.
leave for his own race.
Yeah. So Link Force,
Quitter.
Walter, 2
I
amazing
think
people.
it's pronounced Walterl. We always have fun with that name, to be honest. It's one of the best.
Any final thoughts? Anything else anyone wants to say before we?
Yeah, good luck to Tam tomorrow. Not be so scared. And good luck to Jem, of course.
Yeah, looking forward for tomorrow and GG's
Yeah.
to you. Thanks for all the restream stuff. Thanks for Swalfer. TMOs and wall kicks. Thank you, Ollie.
Yeah, thank you guys for running.
Yeah,
This is
no, thank
this is
you.
really fun to commentate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you don't.
thank you
all
for-
don't. Yeah, no, thank you all so much. Yeah, you don't often get to see one person pull pedestal for powder and then have the other one basically simultaneously fake powder at the same time.
I just crossed fingers Mr. Ed isn't watching because I had to do that. He's always shouting if I do that.
Yeah. Certainly. Yeah, you guys played a great. This was a really fun race. I mean, it was very interesting at least from watching it. But thank you guys so much for racing. And then best of luck, of course, for game 2. For so Magno, you're piloting, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck then. And then Korek, you're piloting for Jam, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, and that races tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, channel TBD, but should be also a fun time. And then I guess if Game 3 comes, then you guys will schedule that at a later time as well.
Yeah, most likely next weekend, I guess. I don't know how much time we have.
I can double check the schedule, but you should at least be fine for next weekend because I think it's at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we worked quite fast. That's why I also was happy about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, thank you guys so much. Of course, as thank you so much as always, Linkforce and Walter. I mean, you guys are phenomenal, and of course, thank you so much, Volkus, for getting up so early and to be able to do commentary.
Getting me up at 9 a.m.
Dude, it is impossible to get up anytime before like 10 a.m. on a weekend. All right,
on a Saturday.
I know, right? I can't believe people. I have to set alarms in order to get up these days.
Clearance, please. It was noon for you. Are you setting an alarm?
Dude, I have to set an alarm anytime on the weekend. All right, like.
But yes, thank you so much, Clear Mouse. It was a lot of fun, and thank you to the runners for the amazing race. Thank you, our trackers. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah,
Can't say
and
the amazing race. That's trademark. So I'll say
Okay,
that again.
thank you for the good race.
I'll allow it.
Okay, good. Appreciate it.
been demoted. So they're gonna play Sunday 4 p.m. Actually, and I think in terms of matches going on, actually, if you stick around in about 20 minutes, there's actually be another co-op Randomizer match happening between. Speaking of Walter, he is racing with Sir Link-a-Lot versus Asura Mufte, so should be a really fun time. Hopefully, it won't take an hour and 50 some minutes. But I guess you can't predict the seed. Until then, go get a drink or something, and then we'll catch you later. See ya.